The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, folks, do you like sword and sorcery picks? I know I do, and I'm sure a few of you out there do too. So, in case you weren't aware of it, Bloody Discussing dropped the news today that there will be a remake of the 1983 sword and sorcery epic Deathstalker. But the fun doesn't stop there. Directing this this immortal classic of woe and of gold and of sorcery and of swords will be none other than Steven Kostanski of Psycho Goreman fame. And Daniel Bernhardt's attached to star. You know him, he's from Nobody and John Wick. I know Raven Shadow must know who he is. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this. It's not often I look forward to a remake, but this is going to be great. As a matter of fact, I just watched Deathstalker and Deathstalker 2 Still Stalking last weekend for the first time in 30 years. So it's been a long time, and it brought back great memories. And I'm sure Kostanski is gonna just do a fantastic job of this. I'm looking forward to it. If you're looking forward to it, let us know. Give Raven Shadow a call. I'll give you his phone number later on. Okay, good enough. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 606 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also, soon to be in the lair of La Swag within the Raven Chateau. There we go. There it is. Just in time. And also from Casa de -0. It is, once again, it's us. It's your favorite idiots on a Thursday night. Hanging and banging, hung and bung. What do you got there, Raven Chat? What's that?
What? I'm turning the from red to green now. We're going live.
Oh,
good. So it's official.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should do that yourself 10 minutes early so that you're actually on time with the rest of us.
I was pretty much on time.
No. We established you were 7 minutes late after I started the call. Well, actually, no. MZ joined like a minute or two after I started it, so it was like 8 minutes late.
Oh, did he bring a fucking apple for the teacher?
Let's not talk about him.
I don't need anything to be on time.
He brings himself. That's all I need.
I am always on time.
Yeah, no, he's always early, actually. He probably was sitting in that fucking seat at like 7:15 a.m. Now p.m.
No, a.m.
All day, just waiting.
Wait till the last minute.
Wolfie, pick up.
He's like, well, I like to be 12 hours and 45 minutes early for everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? What it was is that for the longest time, you're always saying, and 8 o'clock. I get on at 8 and I'm waiting. I mean, I could be doing so many things. I could be petting the cat. I could be jerking off. I could be doing all sorts of things, but I don't do any of that. So
I hope you don't do both of those things at the same time.
Come here, April. Come here, Fluffy.
No, don't do that.
You know what? I'm going to give that a try.
No,
and give you an idea. Jesus. I got Boo here with me. So,
I hope she claws your face off.
I'm gonna pet the cat.
God, you're such a creep. I think you just made 10 lists just now. God damn it! Don't. You know what? We usually say you should watch the video. Not this one. Definitely do not watch the video on this one. Oh boy, pet the cat. has new connotations.
So, so now I've learned over time to just when you say 8:00, I'll show up at like 8:15.
Yeah.
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 So, and he's typically usually earlier still than us. Earlier than Ravenshaw for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready. I had everything ready. I had the fucking laptop on the fucking on the bar. I made sure Facebook worked after the issue of a couple days ago that fucking freaked everybody out.
No, it didn't freak everyone out.
I saw on my Facebook page it did.
I didn't give a fuck. I was actually happy. I was hoping it fucking didn't come back.
Well, you're getting to be like Wolfie Raven Shadow. You're getting to be
Oh, please don't say that.
Yes.
You're getting to be a Wolfenstein in Raven Shadow's clothing. Okay.
How now I'm fascinated. How do you mean?
Because you've gotten to be like him. He's the one who's always never on time. In fact, he's still never on time. But now you've kind of taken over his spot as the guy who's least responsible in getting here on time.
Yeah, and he has the least amount to do as well.
Well, that's at two, Wolfie. No,
For the show.
Yeah, aside from
What do you do to get ready for the show?
I'm a podcast entertainer. I
Okay.
do a lot of
What do you
vocal
do?
exerses.
Okay,
Vocal
give us an example right now. I want to hear.
Cardio.
Oh, no, I want to hear the vocal exercises. What do you do for that?
Me.
So
he does a lot of skibidi-doo, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm a Leo.
So
I'm a Leo.
and
Then
what
he
does that
smokes
do
about
exactly?
It helps the cockles.
Meet. That's what you do?
No.
MZ, this is what he does.
Yeah. Skibidi-doo, whoopity-doo.
You go
What
fuck
is
yourself.
that, by the way? What is that now? Are you like the king of scat now?
Yes, he is the king of scat.
All right, Raven Shadow. Okay, Raven Shadow, give us your review of the film we just watched tonight. Skibidoo, wabbada, skabada, skabadoo, wabbada, skabada, ding dong, doobity doobity doo. Treat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, God. But also, Ravenshaw, I'm not picking on you, but I got a bone to pick with you.
Why?
Because MZ was doing his intro, and all I hear is while he's doing his fucking intro, you picking up your headset. Wait till he's done, okay? If you
I
hear,
didn't hear any of it.
oh, of course, because you're putting your headphones on. Why would you hear? Why would you hear that?
Then how do I know, Wolfie? I don't know
Just
if I'm doing something wrong.
Know that when you take your headset off and when you put it on, it makes horrible sounds. Okay.
Okay.
Every single time.
I appreciate the defense there, Wolfie, but in Raven Shadow's defense, how does he know that I'm speaking and doing the intro if he doesn't have his headphones on? He's gotta put the headphones on in order
because he can hear when he gets close to them. He can hear it coming out of the headphones.
Oh, okay. Oh, well then, Raven Shadow, fuck you.
No. Don't listen to Wolfie. He's bad for you. No, I didn't know, but you know what? I hear your constructive criticism.
He would have been better off if you gave him that advice like 30 years ago.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and I will try to do better.
Are you validating?
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you acknowledging and validating? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I am. No, I live with my car. My parking is validated. No, I'm hearing you, and I'm not trying to escape or argue. I'm listening to the constructive criticism, and there are ways that I can do better.
multiple ways.
Lots of ways. I mean, it's lots of ways I could do better, but I apologize.
Well, Raven Shadow. Regardless, here's a nice little treat.
Thank you.
Our boy Linus is hanging out in the chat.
Oh,
Hey, Linus.
It is let's see. It is 1:38 GMT right now, Raven Shadow. You know what that means? GMT?
GMT. Georgia Mason Dixon.
Dixon?
Dixon.
Is it like GFY?
Kind of. But I've been thinking a lot about Linus.
Oh, really? Have you been petting your cat while you do
Charlie
it?
Brown.
No.
You've been...
I'm so chuffed I've been chafing, I'll tell you that much.
So chuffed I've been chafing.
Did you guys see on the Facebook? Like someone got a fucking tat of Linus all fucked up, wrapped up in his fucking on stage, wrapped up in his microphone. It was dope.
Were you that person, Raven Shadow?
I'm gonna be that person.
Were you that fat kid egg? No. I want to beat him up. And, why are you so fat? Why are you so fat?
It's awesome.
Was that One Crazy Summer? That one? Yeah.
It was a crazy summer.
One Crazy Summer. That movie.
Fucking one crazy masterpiece. I'll tell you right now.
We got a lot. I don't know what's so special about tonight. We got a lot of people hanging out. We got Creepy Girl. What's up, Creepy Girl?
Nice.
MZ's making out with his cat. Well, Jesus, that was a little too much tongue there, MZ. That was a little weird.
Tongue.
He's like, I don't know.
Gave her a kiss on the nose. She likes
It didn't look like the nose.
Yeah.
We have Marion hanging out. Hello, everybody, she says. What's up, Marion? Evil Corny's hanging out. As I mentioned, Linus is hanging out. Angry Townsman is hanging out.
Shit.
Let's see. That might be it. Oh, Evil Corny says, whoa, Wolfie's a pod cop all of a sudden.
Yeah, right?
Wait, are you saying I'm a pod narc?
You are a pod narc. Like 21 Pod Street. Fucking. Pretend you're a friend and bust us all.
Should I add that to my to my intro? Pod narc?
Yeah.
Say it
Pod
five
narc,
say it
pod
5
narc.
times fast, Raven Shadow.
Pod knock, pod knock, pod knock, pod knock.
Pod knocker. Pod knocker.
Pod knocker.
I am Podknocker.
Oh, well, speaking of pod knocker, not that this has anything to do with it, but MZ, that news you did in the intro, that's pretty fucking exciting. Steven Kostanski doing a motherfucking sword and sorcery film.
Yeah, right?
I hope they give him free reign. I don't want another fucking leprechaun piece of shit. I want Steven Kostanski unleashed.
Yeah.
Because that dude is fucking the best.
It's going to be off the chain. And you know his usual gang of friends from Astron 6 is going to have some involvement somewhere.
Imagine Connor Sweeney as a fucking sword and sorcery dude, Raven Shadow. What would you do? Would you make him a barbarian, a wizard? What would you do with Connor Sweeney?
All the time.
All of the above?
I just picture him just in various lands having adventures. You know, I want him to be like that. Remember the old show Voyagers with Phineas Bogg? They had that little like golden snitch gimmick, and they travel back in time and like, you know, stop Lincoln from getting shot or whatever the fuck. I want Connor Sweeney to just like go back in time and to fix things that are wrong with history.
I can picture him, you know, because he's got the blonde hair. It's actually really kind of white, isn't it? And you can, you know, have him like wearing like long hair.
Yeah.
You know, his hair be like really, really long, wielding like a 30-pound sword.
Yeah.
You could picture that. You could picture him, and he could pull it off too. I'm just excited to see where this is going to go. You know?
He could be a good thief.
Yeah.
Good thief. Yeah, I could see like a rogue or a cad.
Rogue.
You know?
Yeah. A caddish rogue.
Caddish Rogue. Not a cat.
No, CAD.
Yes. Could see that.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm surprised you didn't know about this, Wolfie.
Well, I saw something about they were doing the Deathstalker comic book, and he was like involved with that. So I knew that there was some involvement there, and I think we even talked about it. Like, oh my god, that would be amazing if he did a movie. But I didn't know that the movie was actually happening. I thought it was just a comic.
I mean, I just watched the original film just last weekend. I had no idea this was happening, and next thing I know, here I am.
I know, it's funny. You willed it into existence, so I thank you.
Well, you're very welcome anytime. Just let me know when you wanted me to do something with the Sandlot.
Nothing. I don't want you doing anything with that.
Of course you don't. You haven't even seen the original yet. But Deathstalker. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they play the nudity out, because you
don't need it though.
Huh?
You don't need it.
I think you need it because I mean, let me see, in the original Deathstalker, you got Barbie Benton. She's bare-assed. You got
yeah, but that was the fucking 80s.
The late great Lana Clarkson. You know, she gets completely naked a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the charm of the film. You know, I mean, that's what it was like back then. You know, I mean, if you're gonna remake it with all the sword sorcery epic, the wizardry and the nudity and the violence and the nudity again.
And the nudity again. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be less fun.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be, it's going to be fun no matter what, But I think if you're gonna do it right, you got to have nudity.
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy.
Wolfie's the kind of guy who would, like, if you were to remake a porno movie, he says, no, you can't have any nudity in it.
Why would you remake a porn?
How could you remake a porn?
Why would you? That's the important question.
You know what? It's weird. Yeah, I just realized, porn movies don't get remade, do they?
Well, they usually get it right the first time.
Scenarios do.
Is there a lot of people complaining, like, how dare they?
Release the Axel Braun cut.
Yeah.
They don't remake them, do they? They remake every other kind of film. Horror, science fiction, westerns, comedies, dramas.
To be fair,
whatever.
Some genres hit it up the park the first time.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back and watch some of that 70s stuff, Raven Shadow? And say that again?
Man. No, brother. I like the fucking Abdul Jabbar cut of the modern day films.
Abdul
Jabbar. I don't want
actually, I was going to because before we got on the air, I was talking with Wolfie.
It was fucking worse, folks. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, MZ and I had time to talk.
Yeah, I was talking with Wolfie, and of course, we're still waiting on Raven Shadow to show up. And I was telling him, so did you see what I posted on Facebook about 3 hours ago? He goes, no, I haven't really been on. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll make that my intro instead. So I made the news about the Deathstalker remake being my intro, where in fact, if he had heard about it, my intro was going to be about Mark Polonia, and he's coming out with Cocaine Werewolf.
Oh, I'm so glad you chose the one you did.
Well, see, this is the same guy who did Cocaine Shark.
Oh, that's how many Oscars was that nominated for again?
6.
Oh, okay.
Best director, best actress, best special effects, best costume design, and best visual effects.
And best movie with a drug-addled shark.
Yeah.
Yep.
The best after party.
But see, Mark Polonia, he is like, man, I don't even know how to describe him. He's got over 80 films to his credit, just directing. He directed last year. He was on a Miike sort of level, where he directed 9 films last year. Okay, I don't know where this guy gets the money to make this stuff, because I mean, a lot of it is not really very good. It's really bad cinema. But at the same time, I'm so intrigued by what he makes because of just the sheer ridiculousness of the performances and the sheer ridiculousness of the narrative of his movies. He's always taken some idea that got popular somewhere else, putting his spin on it, slapping his name on it, and then putting that to the masses. And Cocaine Werewolf is just the latest in the tragic saga of cocaine-fueled animals. So, yeah, you got Cocaine Bear, Cocaine Shark. I think there's like a cocaine jellyfish. I don't know. I don't remember, but
this man needs to be stopped.
Yeah. They should make like Cocaine Noah's Ark, see what fucking happens.
I don't think any of the animals would get any of it. I think Noah will have it all on his own.
Cocaine Noah.
40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights on that ship.
I've been up for 40 days and 40 nights. Honey, aware fucking tidal waves coming.
He's going to need every gram to get through that night.
Every
We're going to build a
gram.
boat. Tommy. Ezekiel.
Every gram. Every single gram. He's a trip, this guy, Mark Polonia. I don't know, man. I've spoken about him when we had Steven Scarlatta on, talking about sharksploitation and his documentary. Oh.
Yeah. Also, by the way, speaking of Steven Scarlatta, that brought up something I wanted to mention. I did notice that Sharksploitation was nominated for Best Documentary for the Rondo Awards.
Yeah.
This dude can't stop getting nominated.
Rondo Awards are a big deal.
And also, speaking of Rondos, our boy, our pal, I should say, Tony, he's one of the producers for Spooktacular, which is also nominated.
Oh, goddamn, pal.
Yeah.
I've been voting in the Rondo Awards for a good 15 years now.
Yeah.
A year.
I actually haven't voted in the last few years, but I usually do vote, or had.
We haven't won a Rondo Award yet.
No, I don't think we've been nominated.
I don't think we'll ever be nominated. I don't think it's going to happen.
You know, it's funny. We might talk about this later, but while watching this week's movie, by the way, I didn't mention yet, but this week we'll be talking about the film Lovely, Dark, and Deep, the feature film debut from director Teresa Sutherland. So we'll be talking about that in a little bit. But anyways, what was I going to say? Holy fuck. Nominations.
Rondo Award.
Oh,
Us
man.
not getting one.
Today's been I usually don't talk about today's been a fucking shit show. I'll just say that. So I just completely lost the point. I lost the point. Oh, come back. So anyways, I was going to talk. It just occurred to me. Okay. So Lovely, Dark, and Deep. In it, there's a clip from a podcast, and
yes,
it's from Last Podcast on the Left. Is that the name? I haven't really listened to the show. I think that's it.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you where you've heard of it. Let me just, Last Podcast on the Left. So they've been doing it for a while, like longer than we have, I think. And the funny thing is, back in the day, we were on a best of list with them. Look how that turned out. We were on like a best horror list with it was a Faculty of Horror,
Yep.
Last Podcast on the Left, and a few others. I forget if that was the Rue Morgue one or if that was the Entertainment
one?
Weekly.
Oh.
I have pictures of the Rue Morgue one, and I actually have the Rue Morgue magazine somewhere around. I can probably grab it. I don't remember which one it was, but anyways, yeah. So I just thought that was funny. We're on the same list of best horror podcasts with them, and obviously they've skyrocketed.
I have that too.
Yeah,
I have that issue.
They've skyrocketed, and we have sunk. I think
We plateaued.
No, yeah, I think we've gone under the plateau. But that's podcasting. It fucking exploded, and literally everyone and their dog, cat, and grandma has a fucking podcast now. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just the truth, right? Like a lot of people have them. So it's very difficult to get through that. And, I think for us who have a long form podcast, speaking of, which we won an award for being a long ass podcast, it can be difficult in this day and age to stay relevant when you have a 3-hour show. But that's what we like to do. We're not going to change how we do it. That's just, we just do it because we want to. We're not trying to make it big or whatever,
Right. I mean, we are known for our length. Let's be fair. We have gotten awards for that.
That's what I said, yeah.
Some people can't handle the length of Trick or Treat Radio.
I can't handle length sometimes. I know MZ can't. He taps out when he gets the full sensation of that length.
That's true. I gotta break out my safety word.
It's a safe
all
word.
That girthy content.
My safety word. Safety word. Safety word. It's gonna do the safety dance.
And I think we should bring up the fact that today is the 25th anniversary of Stanley Kubrick's death.
Wow.
It's a sad day.
Yeah. 25 years without the cube.
Without the cube?
You gleam in the cube? Gleam in the Kubrick?
It's not Kubrick.
It's Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick.
What am I going to say?
Gleaming the cube.
Okay. 25 years without the cube.
The cube.
Like that's any better.
Gleaming the Kubrick. I like that.
Gleaming the Kubrick. Yeah. Make that movie with Kristen Slater.
The Kubrick. Gleaming the Kubrick. Can you do a Christian Slater, Raven Shadow?
Greetings and salutations.
That's the big fucking one, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me catch up on the chat. We got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Linus said that was a few years ago. He's referring to the tattoo. He said, I spat my pint in the pub. The tattoo recipient is a cool guy.
I want to get Linus's face on my fucking body, bro. That'd be dope.
Whoa. As a tattoo or...
Whichever comes first.
You just want his face on your body. Okay.
I just want to look at him. Poke him with a stick.
Let's see here. Angry Townsman said, well, this is 10 minutes ago. I'm not sure what it was in reference to. He said, yes, Voyagers, the Omni. What's that, Raven Chat? What's he talking about?
Such a brother. No, it was that show with Phineas Fogg.
Yeah.
And the black-haired kid who eventually made his way. He was a homeless kid on Punky Brewster. But Voyagers had the blonde-haired fella with like the frilly white shirt and a vest, and they would have adventures. And he was the dude that actually he early on like died on set with a gun mishap. He was fucking around with a gun, and I think we talked about him before, but he shot himself in the head, and a fucking fake prop gun went off and took the handsome brother out.
You know what? It might be morbid, but that might be a contender for a Patreon down the road. Deadly set mishaps.
Yeah.
We kind of touched
comedy.
We kind of touched on it a little bit last month, right, MZ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it for Twilight Zone? Who was the director again?
Landis.
Yeah,
Landis.
Landis. Yeah.
Or defendant.
Yeah. Let me go through the chat some more. Evil Corny says, well, I almost thought Raven Child was going to be fined for fumbling with headgear. Bless his heart. You were.
I know what that means, Corny.
You were almost fined for fumbling with headgear. It's a stiff fine, Raven Shadow.
Well, I am very stiff. That's my next album is fumbling with headgear. That's my.
Michael Raven Shadow podcast, fumbling with headgear.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm wearing my headgear.
I got my headgear on, Ma.
I can't remember that quote.
I have my hand cannons on.
What was that? Was from Pretty in Pink.
I got my headgear on.
That was Pretty in Pink, right?
Yes.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Mom, I'm wearing my headgear. He woke up in the car.
No. That was 16 Candles.
16 Candles. I'm sorry. You're right. I got them confused. 16 Candles
Anthony.
when he wakes up in the car.
Yeah. Damn it, Ma, I got my head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, damn it, Mom.
Anthony Michael Raven Shadow. Like that.
You wish.
No,
Yeah, right.
All right, what else we got here? Oh, my boy Ghetto Tim is hanging out.
Oh shit!
Ghetto motherfucking Tim from South Korea to Canada.
Such a.
He's always in the
brother.
ghetto. He says, "Motherfuckers be tricking." And Linus said, "Deathstalker with those guys is perfect." Talking about the Astron 6 connection.
I mean, when you think about what they did in Psycho Gorman, I'm not even talking about the Psycho Gorman character, but I'm talking about the characters that he was facing in that wooded area.
Oh yeah.
And
I
watched Psycho Gorman a
the
couple
bucket
weeks
of
ago.
guts one, like that character, like the character that was like a bucket of guts or something.
There was the one that Connor Sweeney played. Thaddeus 6000 or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah.
Just the way the characters look in that, you could tell that they're going to really knock it out of the park with how the character is going to look in this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree.
I'm really excited for this. I've never been this excited for a remake before, but damn it, man, I'm totally on board.
Yeah. Creepy Girl says, I'm excited for 2 new Spider movies releasing soon, and one is French.
Les Spider.
Les Spider. Les Spider.
Les Spider. Oh.
Ghetto Tim says, you need some nudes with sword and sandals. Give me some Sword and Sorcerer 2024.
Who says this?
Ghetto Tim.
Well, he's right.
He says, if you're going to hang boobs, then make it equal opportunity and hang brain.
He's right.
Then Linus says, MZ, he's quoting, he's doing a quote, finger quotes. He says, MZ, remake it with tits.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he says, he's not wrong,
Daisy,
though, is he?
But with tits.
Yeah. Ghetto Tim then says, he got a half shot. Give him another chance to get the full shot. The old 70s days of ZZ Top and Willie Nelson.
There you go.
Linus says, yeah, Dong's out for D&D.
Yeah.
Dong's out for D&D.
You know what? You can throw all the political correctness you want, but nothing beats a good old set of tits.
Jesus Christ. Show us yours, MZ. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Show us those fucking Winnebagos.
Winnebagos. Dong's out for D&D.
You don't
Dungeons and dildos.
Dungeons and Dongs, man.
Dungeons and dongs. Yeah, that's a game. Come on, brother. Roll the dice. Don't roll a 1.
Yeah.
Undecided die, brother. You better get a +4 for not taking up the hoo-hoo.
Jesus Christ. Ghetto Tim says, my boy Ryan has remade Street Trash and it's practical. Yeah.
Yes,
So
I know
Ryan-
about the remake. of
Ryan
Street Trash.
Kruger.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I can't wait to see what. I mean, honestly, I don't know what you can add to Street Trash to make it.
Well, you have to have a dong being thrown around, right?
Well, yeah, sure. You gotta have the playing keep away with the guy's
Yeah.
severed penis.
Yeah. I mean, it's
that's the
essential.
highlight of the film.
Yeah, it's the dude that did Fried Barry.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit!
yeah. Ryan Kruger.
Yeah, Ryan Kruger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder when that's coming out. It says 2024. It's in post production. It says on IMDb. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that too. I mean, Fried Barry had a lot of potential, and it was pretty fucking wacky. I'm looking forward to seeing what that dude does with Street Trash.
Yeah, Street Trash and Toxic Avenger. I mean,
Yeah, it's a
and lot
it's a
of people
renaissance,
think-
right?
A lot of people think that Street Trash is a trauma film, and it's not.
I know.
It plays itself off like a trauma film, but it's not. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this with Street Trash.
Can we say it's the
because
it's the
original
rena?
it's just so goddamn bonkers and wacky and funny and dirty and it just feels so realistic and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it though.
Can we call this a renaissance of sleaze?
Ooh, it's a good title.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, think about it. You got Street Trash,
Yep.
Toxic Avenger, Deathstalker.
yeah,
I wouldn't call it a renaissance of sleaze, but
it's the start.
It's a start.
I'm bringing sleazy back. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, just over the past few days, I caught myself watching the Toxic Avenger Part 2 and the Toxic Avenger Part 3.
I remember we saw 4 in the theater.
Yeah, that was a trip.
That one's fun. I haven't seen any of them in a while, but yeah, 4 is fun.
Toxic Avenger 4 is so fucking good. For the longest time, I thought it would be Terra Firma.
Mm-hmm.
Between Terra Firma and Toxic Avenger 4, and I think Toxic Avenger 4 is better than Terra Firma, but Terra Firma is just, and it's hard to believe now that I think about it. Terra Firma is 25 years old.
Jesus, that's crazy.
How the hell does time fly on that?
The
All the violence and moronic shit that goes down, and the nudity. Oh, the nudity.
there's a poster for Street Trash. It's a newer poster for the remake, and it's pretty awesome. It's got like the neon green that you would expect from Street Trash, and it's got a cop whose face is melting, and then at the bottom it says "Melt the Rich."
So something tells me this is going to be a movie that has a message.
Could. It could just be that they used a cop for it, but it looks like he's wearing I don't know, on his head. It looks like he's like, there's like a cauldron. I mean, it could just be, I think, you know what? Never mind. It's a riot helmet. The way it's lit, it looks like a cauldron with a handle on top, but it's the visor. I mistook it for that. So it's a riot helmet.
I'm looking at it now.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah. That looks like something that what the hell's his name? God damn it. Joel Robinson.
Yep.
This looks like some Joel Robinson work.
Could be.
It could be wrong, but it does.
Wait, Joel Robinson from MST3K?
No.
Joel
The
Robinson,
poster artist.
the artist.
Yep.
No.
He did Survivor of the Film Freaks.
But that boy good.
The poster.
That was dope.
So
this looks like some Joel Robinson work.
Could be. Let's see what else we got in the chat. There's so much chat going on tonight, it's hard to keep up. Let's see here. Evil Corny says Meth Goose should be a film.
Meth goose.
Ghetto Tim says, "Is Cocaine Werewolf going to be busted by Wolf Cop?" Maybe. The creepy girl wants to
I
know.
don't know. I mean, that's interspecies,
Erotica.
No, not interspecies erotica. That's like any kind of normal eroticism. Interspecies. What? Person has sex with another person? What a weirdo. Like interspecies combat.
Interspecies combat.
I guess. I don't know
Wait.
what the word is.
Interspecies combat. Hey. Interspecies combat. We got a lot of potential tonight. Let me see what else. Creepy Girl says, "Whatever happened to Meth Gator?" I think he went into the swamp. Creepy Girl.
Meth Gator. You know what? If it ain't out by now, I'm sure it'll be coming out at some point. Someone will think of it, and someone will direct it, and someone will release it.
Ghetto Tim says, "Bath salt gator just for Florida." And
actually, Bath Salt Gators is a great fucking minor league baseball team.
The Bath Salt Gators.
Bath Salt Gators versus the Flacosauruses. Yeah, Flacosaurus. Why not?
Sure.
What's a Flacosaurus?
Flacca. Flakka.
Are you out of your flocking mind, Sarah?
Well,
what's a flocka? Oh, flocka.
Flock of seagulls.
Flock of assholes.
No, flock of seagulls.
Not a flock of seagulls.
Yeah, flock of seagulls. Dude, I would totally rock.
Flocka was a drug that they used, and what it did is started eating away at people's skin. If I remember correctly, it started eating away at people's skin.
Is that was the bath salt thing, right? That everyone thought were zombies.
Yeah, they were turning into zombies. Yeah, Flacca is along the same idea as that.
Okay, Flacca is with 2 Ks. It says it's a dangerous drug that is similar to the street drug commonly known as bath salts. Yeah, Flacca is typically white or pink in color and is found in crystal form. Its street title is Gravel, Raven Shadow. There you go. It's a little tip for you. Ask the kids if they're packing any gravel.
Yo, you little kids packing gravel, yo?
You packing any gravel?
You packing? You guys smuggling gravel?
Oh, shit. Arkham, our boy Arkham Josh might know a thing or two about gravel.
Oh, yeah, he does, bro.
I was going to say that. I was going to say it, and I stopped myself.
The drug may be eaten, snorted, injected, or vaporized in e-cigs.
That's a good drug. That's good.
And you want to know what the effect on the body is, Raven Shadow?
Please.
Paranoia and hallucinations that may lead to violent aggression and self-injury. Overdose and death have been linked to the use of this drug.
That doesn't even sound appealing. I want, it makes you dust your room.
Makes you dust your room.
Yeah, it makes you want to clean out your closet, or
makes you want to call your friend and ask him if he wants to clean out your closet.
No.
It makes you want to call your friend and ask if he wants to have this poster mailed to him in 8 months.
Which was 8 months. Sorry, Sligoth. But no, I don't want violence or that's not the kind that doesn't get me fucking going. I want to either talk a lot and be productive.
Talk a lot or be productive. So one of those two things you don't do all the time. The other one you do. You want to talk more?
Yeah, I like stimulants. I'm I want what Willem Dafoe had in Poor Things. His recipe.
What, the gas the gas thing?
No, he had Marion knows. He had amphetamine. He had morphine to keep him
Yeah. That's right.
amphetamine to keep him going, and then he's like, and I just like cocaine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Funny that out of everything in that movie, that's the one thing you remember.
I remember I remember 2 to 3 other things too.
It's funny. So I do. My family, so me, my brother, my sister, and my mom, we do like FaceTime calls like right before like anyone has a birthday or something. And so today just happens to be to my brother's birthday. So what's the last name we refer to him as? Psycho Patrick on the show?
Psycho Patrick.
So yeah, it's his birthday today. So anyways, we did a call this past weekend. So we usually just talk about like whatever's going on, what movies we watch. And I said that I watched Poor Things recently, really loved it. My mother was like, "Oh, I want to see that." I was like, "Just warn you, Mom, a lot of nudity." And then so I forget, I don't have the text in front of me, but she like messaged last night and she's like, "Oh wow, Emma Stone got naked a lot."
A lot.
She did.
She said she did like it though, and I also mentioned Saltburn, and she watched that too.
Oh, God.
I'm like,
So what'd you think of the graveyard scene?
she didn't mention that. I did say, I was like, well, there's some scenes that are a little gross. Just letting you know. And
Your mother's starting to have an edge to her. What the hell? Watching all these.
She's
all
like
these
the
movies.
youngest, like 70-year-old in the world, I think.
All this
Well, my
nudity
parents actually saw The Beekeeper in theaters, the Jason Statham gimmick.
Oh, they were the ones.
Yeah, no, they like going to the Westboro.
The
theater.
cheap theater there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not cheap, but the second run, I should say.
Yeah, second run, but yeah, they watched and they liked it. And Mom's like, it's a little bit violent. But they watch hard shit anyway. They're fucking down, man. But I'm like, you saw The Beekeeper? Okay, good for you.
MZ, have you told your mom to watch Street Trash or anything like that? No.
No, you know what she likes? You guys are gonna love this. She loves her superhero movies.
That is fucking hilarious.
Let's put her on the fucking podcast.
Yeah, she'll replace you.
Yeah.
She loves her goddamn superhero movies. I'm like,
So your mom is dope. Dude.
That's funny.
yeah, she is a dope.
Listen,
That's funny.
but she likes Suicide Squad.
Probably.
She has nothing bad to say about any of the superhero movies that she watches. She loves Iron Man. Whenever it's on, she watches it.
Good for her. Indiana Jones, Lost Boys. She's got fucking taste.
All right, we got a lot more chat to catch up on. Let me
All right.
get through this. Ketamine Giraffe. Our pal Ketamine Giraffe is hanging out.
Ketamine Giraffe.
Ketamine Giraffe, yeah. And he says, Rondos, you say? And then he posted a gif of a Rajon Rondo.
That's what I was thinking.
Former Boston Celtics, disgraced former Boston Celtics player, I should say.
Yeah, you don't want to forget that part.
Yeah. Our boy Jethro Namicon. Everyone, what the fuck? Is this a holiday? Everyone's coming out of the woodworks. This is awesome.
What the hell?
Jethro says, I like this new setup. Hello, gang.
Hey.
Linus says, last podcast on the left is killer. They do real life horror / crime stuff, though.
Dude,
Yeah, well, this is Trick or Treat Radio, Linus. Why don't you fucking put us over, bro?
did we have like a sweepstakes last week? What's with everybody coming out of the woodwork?
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, it's Jethro Namicon. I miss that brother.
Linus says, whoa, rip cube. Kubrick. And Jethro says, wow, 25 years already?
Yeah.
Ghetto Tim says, did you guys go to the Kubrick exhibit when it went through? That was amazing. We did, MZ, didn't we? Or was that was it the exhibit or just a fest? I can't remember now.
No. Oh, the exhibit. No, we didn't do the exhibit. I wanted that exhibit.
Yeah, no,
No,
we went to
the
Kubrick Film Fest. Yeah, it was at a museum though. That's why I couldn't recall if there was a thing that accompanied it. But did we saw two movies?
The Boston Museum of Modern Art,
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
the Boston Museum. Is it them? No, it's Boston Museum of Fine Arts. That's it.
Ah, yeah.
It's the MOFA. Yeah, Boston Museum of Fine Arts. That's it. But yeah, we went. If I recall correctly, did we see 2001 and Clockwork?
It was 2001. I remember that, and I think it was Clockwork.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was. It was Clockwork. It was Clockwork.
That was fucking awesome. Yeah,
that was a good time.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we went to Spike's Junkyard Dogs after and had some hot dogs.
Yeah, boy.
You missed out, Raven Shadow. You want to go back in time?
Yeah, can we go? I want that.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were 35 millimeter.
Shit.
I think they were.
At least one of them was, I think. So that was fucking awesome.
I saw Clockwork on 35 mil at the Coolidge Corner Theater back in the Dizzle.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, let's see. Linus says, same as you lot, saying dunes instead of June. Doon instead of Dune. How do you say that movie name, Raven Shadow?
Dune.
Dune. June.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. Hey, Dune. Yeah, the Dune shall abide. Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. I still gotta get. If I'm gonna watch part 2, I gotta get my buddy Nate O to explain it to me again because there's a lot of fucking going on there. Apparently the worm gimmicks broke fucking theaters. Like,
oh, the fucking popcorn buckets.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah,
Some kind of
finger
bucket.
quotes, popcorn buckets.
Yeah, the Dune
Those
fleshlights.
popcorn buckets. My God.
Yeah, I heard that a lot of places sold out of them right away. It's such a niche thing. Like I'm sure people went to fucking buy those things and sell them on eBay.
Yeah. No one saw the movie. They just bought the fucking.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Well, I mean, people are seeing the movie. It's doing pretty good.
Oh, sure. Sure. A lot of people went to go see it. But those who don't care about it just went in to grab those popcorn buckets and then get the hell out of Dodge.
Popcorn fuckets.
You think they'll do the same gimmick with Beetlejuice? They should.
I don't know. What is it going to be? Like scissor? Have like a
Sandworm.
Sandworm. Yeah. I was thinking last night on AEW Dynamite. Was it last night? I'm trying to. Yeah. I think it was last night. Yeah. It was Darby. They call I forget who it was now. Like literally, I can't fucking remember anything today. But they called him Darby Scissorhands. Oh, it was Jay White from the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Wait a minute. Darby wrestled on fucking Dynamite?
No, he didn't wrestle. He came out and just cut a promo. And then Jay White, he's fighting Jay White next week in Boston. And so they had like a little back and forth. And he's like, Darby, you should come join the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. He's like, you can call yourself Darby Scissorhands. Because he looked like Edward Scissorhands, like what he was wearing. He just fucking walked away. So,
yep, it shows you how much he cares.
Yeah. All right, let's continue through the chat here. Let's see. Ketamine Giraffe says, every time I fight, I make it a point to stick my finger down my throat and puke on my opponent when I knock them out. Street trash will always live on through me.
There you go.
Nice.
There.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we just say one thing? Like, who saw the Darby Allin real glass fucking Swanton
It was
bomb?
stupid. That was stupid.
I saw it. I thought it was fucking awesome. I think it was stupid, no doubt, but
Stupid.
So there was no point to it other than having him going through some glass. That was
it's
it.
spectacle. That's the point.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Darby's a
mean
fucking.
anything.
He's a nut. He's climbing Mount Everest in a couple weeks.
Stupid.
He's a fucking nut.
Good.
Look at you. It says that the hardcore icon who fucking wielded food trays and blue sleds.
Yeah, like what we did, we took it so seriously. For Christ's sake. The Paisano brothers, all right? I mean, come on.
Hey, forget about
shut
me.
up in your face, huh?
Fucking Paisano brothers.
Paisano.
No, that was just so stupid. And did you see what AEW is doing? They put out a press release. I don't know if you saw this or not.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, all right, you saw it, Raven Shadow. That
The front row.
that people who are in the front row are responsible for their own well-being if any glass hits them or if
Well, it didn't
anything
say
hits them.
glass. It just said that if you're in the front row, you're responsible for your own well-being. That's all it says.
I'm just
yeah. Well, don't
I
make
know,
it sound
just
fucking
anything.
worse.
No.
That's any fucking wrestling show. We've all been to wrestling shows. We have wrestlers in our fucking laps. I've had wrestlers in my laps. I've had glass.
But if a wrestler goes through a shit ton of glass and the glass breaks and it hits you, we're not responsible. I mean, what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
I went to a GC.
That is taking away all the responsibility away from the promotion and putting all the blame on the patron. Yeah.
No. If you go to a wrestling show and you're near the action, it doesn't have to be the front row. It can be the fucking back row if they end up fighting near you. It is your responsibility to get the fuck out of the way and to protect yourself. And I went to a GCW show in Atlantic City a few years back. I was in like the 5th or 6th row and I had glass shoot at me from someone going through glass. Like, if you got to know what you're getting into. And if there's glass there, you have to fucking be careful. Like, yes, maybe it was reckless and maybe they could have done a better job of letting people know. But that if you're at a wrestling show, you have to expect that you could have something flung your way, whether it's a person, whether it's I don't know, like a bottle of water or something, or glass flung your way. It's just, you have to be ready for anything.
I mean, they do say like, keep your eyes on the show.
Mm-hmm. It's same thing, MZ, as like, let's say you go to a baseball game. And you're in fucking right field bleachers. You probably never think there's going to be a ball that comes your way.
That is different because
it's not.
Listen, shush. Hear me out.
Shush.
That is different. No, listen to me. That is different because that is expressed on the ticket that you got to be careful. If something happens to come your way, you got to watch out. It's expressed on the ticket. AEW wouldn't have to put out this press release.
It wasn't a press release. It was on the board before the show. They have it on the video board.
It's still ridiculous. You could smirk all you want, Four Eyes. I don't give a damn.
Wow. It's not different than going to a baseball game, to going to a basketball game, going to any sporting event, going to see fucking Gallagher. Like, look, something could fly your fucking way.
Having a wrestler land on you is one thing. Having shards of glass coming at you at whatever speed. I mean, think about it. I mean, you don't go to a wrestling match to look forward to getting yourself cut open with a piece of glass.
Well, some people might, but
well, that's true. Maybe the more hardcore fans would probably enjoy that.
To your point, MZ, yes, but I mean, you can't control physics, just like just same like a foul ball and fortunately hit someone and drill someone. That sucks. And I'm sure the person that is the batter or whatnot feels
feel
fucking
terrible.
terrible.
But the batter, all right, say the batter hits or a hockey game. You've seen the poor girl that got hit in the head with a hockey puck at a was it Columbus Blue Jackets game, and she died.
She died, yeah.
You know, I
It
mean,
sucks.
It's terrible.
it of course it's horrible, but Darby Allin, he's deliberately performing this stunt because it's really not a move; it's a stunt.
I agree with that.
Stunt, just for his own ego. Okay,
No,
he's not trying to score any points. He's not even trying to win the match. The way you saw how everybody was positioned in this whole scenario. Darby Allin was on top of the near the top of the ladder in the ring,
near the top.
And who was it? Was it
Nicholas?
Was it Matt Jackson? Was it
Nicholas?
Matt Jackson?
It was Nicholas Jackson.
Nick.
Not
Okay,
Nick.
Nick.
Goes by Nicholas now.
Nick, whatever. Nick the Dick.
And Matthew Jackson pulled him out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, you could tell just by the way Nicholas was positioned.
Love that he changed it. Go ahead.
You're really kind of missing the point, Wolfie.
No, I'm not. I'm just being a dick.
Yeah, you are. You're really missing the point of what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to tell you something, and you're fumbling around with the goddamn name.
It absolutely was a stunt, no doubt. It was like there was no intent to ever hit Nicholas Jackson with that. Yes, as a viewer,
Worse if he did.
Of course, as a viewer, you're supposed to suspend disbelief and think that he was trying to hit him and put him through the glass.
No.
Obviously, that didn't.
Yeah,
like that's the way you're supposed to see that. It didn't play out that way, and Darby he is an adrenaline junkie. That's it. Like, he is a fucking madman. And he does it in almost every single match. Not go through glass. He does something fucking dumb and stupid. And he is going to die in the ring one day. Yeah. Like, I swear, he is not smart. But he's a safe worker. Like, when he works, like, I don't think anyone's ever got injured in any of the matches I've ever seen him in. He's a very safe worker. And he's probably a lot of fun to wrestle because you can do almost anything you fucking want with him. He is a stuntman / wrestler, and yes, no one else does what he does because no one else can do what he does. And it was all spectacle. That's it. People are talking about it. It ended up being, I think, a big, like stunt, I guess, for it, because that GIF got shared all over. I mean, that's what you want. You want people talking about, about what you do, and Darby's making a name for himself. He's a young guy still, so he probably thrives on the dopamine of getting likes and views and shit like that. Yeah,
emphasizing the word dope.
I'm not going to dispute that. He is a dope. He's fucking. It's stupid. It's so stupid. How reckless he can be sometimes, but that's what he does, and he does it well. That's all. Yeah, that's all I can really say. I mean, all right, let me continue chat. I'm going to go quick. I might skip some guys. There's so much chat that I can't keep up.
Shit, I love it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Linus says Toxie 4 is ace. Ketamine Giraffe says Joel Robinson's great. Survival of the Film Freaks and Spooktacular one sheets. Let's see. Ghetto Tim says Fred Flintstone pushing the gravel. Gravel. Let's see. Oh, and Ketamine Giraffe said Hawking smoked gravel once. What is that from? There's a GIF of someone getting sent through a fucking plate glass window in a wheelchair. Linus says my friend's sister used to do speed and get home early the next day to her mom's house and do the hoovering to spend the energy.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Ghetto Tim says Saltburn had that kid hanging brain, and he looked to me like a combination of Martin Short and that kid from Deliverance. Holy shit, that's actually Barry Keegan That's actually not bad.
That's pretty good.
You know what?
Pretty good, eh?
I wasn't thinking of Martin Short. I never thought of Martin Short, but I did think of the kid in Deliverance.
I must say.
Oh, God damn it.
That's funny.
All right. What else we got here? Evil Corny says, I'm glad that MZ's mom might like Starro. Oh, shit. Linus says, I watched Yurutsukudoji with my mom thinking, how bad can it be? He said pretty bad, as it turns out.
Probably fine.
Linus says, man, Dune Part 2 is a heck of a thing. Ketamine Giraffe says, why spend the money on IMAX when I can just wait for Dune to come out on VOD and eat popcorn out of my fleshlight?
Watch it first.
Evil Corny says, yeah. Evil Corny.
You don't want all that.
Yeah. Evil Corny loved Dune 2 as well.
It's not butter.
Ketamine Giraffe says, I'm buying all the Darby merchandise in Boston next week and selling them on eBay in April. He ain't coming back from Everest.
Oh, shit.
He probably won't.
Darby said, like, when he cut his promo this past week, he said, next week might be my last match ever. He's like, I might not make it back from Mount Everest. 330 people have died on climbing Mount Everest.
Is he going by himself?
I don't know. I think he's going with people, but still.
Darby's a fucking, and he's awesome, but I definitely agree he's got to fucking stop. Like, I want this dude to make it to 35. Like, I like Darby.
Evil Corny says, how much do you tip a wrestler for a lap dance? That's a good question. Guess it depends on who it is.
Yeah. Is it Road Dogg?
Ketamine Giraffe says, front row for mass transit. Literally had to move the barricades for the fire department and EMTs to get him out of Wonderland Ballroom.
That's the legendary story.
That is the legendary mass transit.
Yeah. The legendary mass transit story.
You don't expect to see somebody murder somebody in the ring.
I'd like to see him do a Dark Side of the Ring on that.
Well, I mean, they did New Jack, and they covered it on there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Was it New Jack that cut him?
Yeah.
He
almost killed the dude.
Coast to coast, right? It was coast to coast.
Well, I mean, New Jack's done it a couple times. I forget what the mass transit one. He almost killed the guy, though. And the guy's like, I think he gets seriously injured to the point where he's.
Well, he was underage.
He died,
was underage.
Right?
He was 17.
Yeah, he lied about his age.
And the famous quote, well, like, his dad was there and got pissed off, and then he was like, "Don't worry, Dad. I'm one of the boys now." Like, oh shit.
Yeah. So the dude Eric Koulis, who was mass transit, he died on May 12th, 2002, at the age of 22. Due to complications from gastric bypass surgery. So it wasn't related. I thought somehow he had some injuries that were related.
I didn't know he passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened a while back.
This video of it. This video of the match.
Oh yeah.
It might still be out there. I don't know. Probably. But the whole situation was just ugly. And ECW and Paul Heyman, they were found not liable. They weren't responsible. So
yeah, I forgot about this part of it, but it says the incident led to the temporary cancellation of the inaugural ECW pay-per-view Barely Legal, and legal action against New Jack. It says due to Koulis's deception, who he was mass transit. It says, however, Barely Legal was reinstated and the legal action ended in Young's favor, Young being New Jack.
How many homicides is New Jack justifiably responsible for?
A
lot.
I'll have to.
Well, it's more than one.
Yeah.
I think it's 3. 3 or 4.
I think it's more. It's more homicides you can shake a stick at. Like all these times, it was okay for him to kill somebody. I think it was like 7.
Oh shit!
I was thinking 7 too, but then I got to thinking, nah, that sounds awfully high. I'm gearing more towards 3 or 4. I don't know.
I forgot about this, but New Jack was in a relationship with Terry Runnels for a couple
Really?
of years.
Yeah. He was getting that.
Jesus.
Oh, fucking Goldust must love that.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Yeah, he's a piece of work, man. Like, apparently one of New Jack's sons revealed in 2020 that New Jack had disowned him a few years earlier due to him being a drag queen. Way to support your kids, New Jack.
Oh.
Yeah, like you fucking like.
Look, I met New Jack once, and he was a cool guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to fans, he was fine if you were fine to him. You know, like he was if you were a dick, he would give her right back. But yeah. But yeah, he died at 58. New Jack did in May 2021.
Oh wow, his head was so fucking tuned up from fucking all the fucking gig marks, man.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. It's not quite as bad as like Abdullah the Butcher, but it's pretty close.
It was close.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes.
Or Dusty, yeah. All right, I'm almost caught up here. Linus says, well, you got to be careful if Vince is around. Talking about the lap dances, I guess.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, he says that's like a Gallagher show with shit. Linus says.
Yeah, like were there any of those that during a G.G. Allen show?
Linus,
yeah, you love him, MZ. Like, you're going to get hit with like fecal matter or like semen.
Well, they always say the best place to be at a G.G. Allen concert is being behind him.
Yeah, it's not.
Because you don't want to be in front of him.
Linus says, what's all this sports ball talk and no mention of Taylor Swift, Satan Magic? Jethro says, I just hope he doesn't evolve into the new Jeff Hardy. No, he's already worse than Jeff Hardy in terms of stunts.
He's way
Let's just hope he stays off the drugs.
I don't think he does drugs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope he stays off the drugs, like doesn't go near them.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, please, I think drugs might be the only thing that's holding the poor guy together.
Oh, Jesus. Ketamine Giraffe says, yep, and Terry loved bloodletting. It was wild. Holy shit. Ketamine says, I do a deep dive on Terry New Jack's relationship and then call a therapist. Ghetto Tim says, Abby Abdullah the Butcher could put coins between his forehead and hold them there.
That's fucked up.
And then he says,
yeah, that's why it was called Quarterhead.
Yeah. And MZ, this is a question for you, and we're all caught up. You know G.G. Allen's favorite candy?
I don't know if this is a joke or an actual thing. I have no idea.
Feces Pieces.
G.G. Allen loves them.
Do you say Feces Pieces, or would it be like Feces Pieces? Because that doesn't rhyme, right? You have to take umbrage with Pieces.
Reese's Feces, probably.
So how do you say Reese's? How do you say the things that ET loves? How do you say those?
Reese's Pieces.
So you have
Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's Pieces, not Reese's Pieces.
Right, you have to say it wrong though. Whatever. All right.
Reese's Pieces.
All right, I'm all caught up. So this is fucking crazy. You guys came out in force. We have this is like the best turnout we've had in a long time. We got a lot of people hanging out. It's awesome to see everybody.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, just love seeing everyone hanging out. It's good to see everyone. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, we're in fucking Canada. We're in fucking England. We're in fucking other places.
We're in Woburn. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Woburn.
I don't actually know where Ketamine Giraffe is.
Oh,
no,
I've been talking to
Methuen.
Kenny Giraffe a lot. We're making
Methuen.
plans.
That's what I meant. That clip he sent, the Black Sabbath. Go back to Methuen. All right, so Jethro says, good to be here. Been a long time. Yeah, man, we miss you, Jethro. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
I hope everything's going well. I hope you're healthy.
Hug and a kiss, brother.
All right, let's do a quick plug of how you can support the show. So we haven't actually talked about this, but I think we're doing a Patreon this weekend, right? Does that still work for you guys?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll talk about that off air, but I think we're doing a Patreon this weekend, and MZ had a good idea. We'll narrow in on exactly what we're going to do, so we won't announce it right now, but we'll be doing Patreon exclusive this weekend, and if you guys are not already Patreon supporters, you can join for as little as $2 a month, and it goes up from there, and you can go ahead and you get those free. I don't mean exclusive is what I mean, because you actually kind of pay for them, but you get something in return. You help support us, and then we give you something. That's transactional, Raven Shadow.
I know about that.
Been learning about transactional relationships.
It's a contract.
So
NDA all day, baby. Come on now.
NDA all day. Jesus Christ. All right. So, if you guys want to support, head on over there to patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And the Patreon takeovers are kicking off this month. We got one planned towards the end of the month with, we'll just fucking say it right now, with our boy Linus. So we'll be hanging out with Linus coming up later in the month for a Patreon takeover. And we're going to get to all the other Patreon takeovers. I'll be reaching out to folks soon to plan out the rest of them. But we have a couple spots left if you want to hop in to the Patreon takeover line. And you get to choose two movies or a movie and a discussion. And if you want to, you can also join us and co-host on that episode. So patreon.trickortreatradio.com, exclusive episodes, access to the Discord. You can get into the film advisory board, which once again came through this week. You'll find out what the movie is later. But yeah, give it a look. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. You can join for as little as $2 a month. And you know what? You could even just join for free just to see what we're posting on there. So you can go ahead and do that if you want to just kind of gauge interest first. Also, you can go to trickortreatradio.com, look for the Amazon logo on that front page, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything they purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
There you go. Finally, on trickortreatradio.com, you can click on the store and you can buy the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio Volumes 1 through 3. So give that a look. Check it out. Support, help, share the show. Give us a 5-star review if you haven't done so yet, especially Apple Podcasts. Spotify, I think you can leave comments now. I think that's a new thing. I don't use Spotify, so I don't really know. But there's a multitude of ways you can help support, some monetarily, some completely free. It just takes a little bit of your time. But, last podcast on the left went up here. They zigged and we zagged. Speaking of that again. So if, the way for us to cut through that static is to get more reviews and to get shares and stuff like that. I mean, we love doing this and, we just have fun and we love having everyone hang out. But, if you guys do want to help out, there's ways to do it. You can help, you can share, you can support. That's it.
Yeah, you're scrolling through your shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're scrolling, I'm looking, fucking whatever the fuck on the Facebook or the apps. Just click on the thing and make it 5 stars. You don't got to mean it. Just do it.
Well, I mean, hey, we'll take it. If you ain't got to mean it. It's Raven Shadow's fucking, that's his what's that called? Not an autobiography, but your what?
Yeah. Sales pitch. No, but you know what I mean? Like,
all right.
Even if you don't have to like us, you just have to, love us. Just like us a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
It's okay to lie.
Sometimes. Not to you, Doctor, though, Raven Shadow. All right. So, Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
you sit down to watch a movie. You're gonna watch Lovely, Dark, and Deep. You're a big fan of poems. You love American poets. I don't know what else do you love?
Yeah, I like poets. You know what I mean? I'm getting excited, man. No, I'm getting ready for the summer concert series, man. Like, got some rock and roll shows coming up.
Was it Frost? Yeah, I think it was Frost that had the poem.
Deacon Frost?
No. Nick Frost. Nick Frost.
Oh, Nick Frost. I was thinking the dude from Blade.
It was
no.
Robert Frost. Permafrost.
Yeah, that boy good too. You know what I mean? But like, no, not this Friday, but next Friday, the Kobayashi Maru and I were going to see Power Man 5000 in New Hampshire. Gonna be dope. And then on the 7th of May, Mary and I, we got tickets for Bad Religion and not Suicidal Tendency, that'd be dope too. But Bad Religion and Social Distortion playing at the MGM in Boston. You know what I mean? Gonna be rocking. And then it's weird. I have a dream the other night. I'm having some vivid dreams, Johnny. So I'm dreaming that I'm at my 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
And I'm talking to people. What?
No, I'm trying to get in the headspace here. Follow you.
Thank you. So yeah, so in my dream, I'm at my 9-to-5 job wearing my leather. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to people, and I'm like, yo, and whatever in the conversation of the dream logic, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of a rocker. And then I look to my left, and an IT guy is actually, oh my God, I'm forgetting his name.
Juice.
No. Karanda Misatake.
Lion Girl.
Yeah, Lion Girl. Derek Mears. So Derek Mears in my dream is an
He was
IT
your
guy.
IT guy?
Yeah. And he's wearing like the Geek Squad button-down collar shirt gimmick. And as I'm talking to the team, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of a rocker. He looks to me and he's like, you're not a rocker. And I'm like, fuck you, Derek Mears from IT. Don't fucking tell me I'm not a rocker. And then I woke up.
Yeah, he told you?
Yeah. So in my dream, I have heat with Derek Mears, and I don't want that because he's awesome. But until I can talk to Karando and make it right, you better believe I strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music. Pants.
Quoting video games that don't have dialogues.
Shabibans.
Tasty news.
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
Butt breathers.
Uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify,
I'm
Stitcher,
Alex West,
or
and I'm Andrea Sudasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
We're back in Trick or Treat Radio. I forgot to mute the mics when I went away. Hopefully, you guys weren't having intimate conversations.
Ooh.
All right. Well, it is time for our film discussion. And this week, we're talking about the movie Lovely, Dark, and Deep. And that is, are you familiar with the Oxford comma, Raven Shadow?
Dude, don't fucking tell me. The Oxford comma.
Oh, I'm not telling you. I'm asking you. Are you familiar?
Everybody knows about the Oxford comma. That's the best comma you can get. I'm an Oxford comma chameleon.
What is an Oxford comma?
I don't know.
I like that. I don't know.
I don't know. In E.F. Contentment's review, he put it over. I don't know what a fucking Oxford comma is.
I know what an Oxford comma is.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I know. An Oxford comma, I think, is when you got three or more things and you got this, comma, this, comma, this. Then you add another comma to that and something else. So it's like the last comma in a sentence.
Yeah,
the last comma on the left.
In a string of commas. In a string of commas. Unlike in America where you wouldn't use that last comma before the and.
You would just say MZ, comma, Wolfie, and Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
You're the and Raven. You're the and Raven Shadow.
And I'll form the and. Linus, what's an Oxford comma?
Form the and.
Yeah. Linus doesn't care about an Oxford fucking comma.
How do you know?
He's too busy rocking, bro.
He's too busy rocking.
He don't fucking. You got time for that.
I'm
He's
too
walking his
busy
fucking
being
dog.
cool. I'm too busy being cool to learn about Oxford commas.
Yeah.
Man.
He's eating his fucking vegan breakfast that he posts so much that I get hungry for when I look at it at fucking
Dude,
10 a.m.
Linus makes you want to go vegan, doesn't he?
Kind of, yeah.
I've been trying, but no, it's Linus that gets the job done.
Yeah, well, Linus is awesome.
Well, he'll just give you some. Was it Buckfast? Is that what it's called?
Oh.
Buckwheat.
All right, so
Buckfast?
All right, so Wolfie, what's the point of asking this question?
Thank you.
The Oxford comma.
Yeah,
I was just curious because that the title of the movie has an Oxford comma: lovely, dark, and deep.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So Lovely, Dark, and Deep. That's the movie we're going to be talking about. Let's jump in. It is it had its debut. I don't know if it was at Fantasia, but it hit festivals last year, 2023. It is 87 minutes. It's Raven Shadow's favorite runtime. Anything under 90 minutes. And it's a horror film that is written and directed by Teresa Sutherland. And the film stars Georgina Campbell, who we last saw in Barbarian 2 years ago.
Yep.
She was the lead in that. She's been in Black Mirror. I think she was in one episode of Black Mirror. And, handful of other things. She was in the Bird Box Raven Shadow, the Bird Box Barcelona. Did you see that?
No, I'm not sure I did. Oh, Bird Box. Is that that fucking movie that was trying to do a gimmick?
With Sandra Bullock.
Yes. It did a gimmick. It didn't try. It did.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Well, she was in that. I didn't see that one. I saw the first Bird Box. And let's
Bird
see.
Box. Was it really called the Bird Box?
It's called Bird Box, yeah.
Bird Box. It's pretty good.
It's all right, yeah. It's like it's like these sense related horror films like A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, it's like ASMR but like with horror. Like I don't know. That's not my gimmick. Yeah, like that was the gimmick they couldn't see, right?
Yes.
Right.
All right. The film also stars Nick Blood, Wai Ching Ho.
Yeah.
What?
Nick Blood.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nicky
Okay.
Blood.
Nicky Blood. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sure he was.
Do you remember the character Lance Hunter?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
He's good.
That boy good.
That boy good.
Oh, he was in Andor. He played Corporal Kim Z.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Blood. Who else we got here in this cast? We got Mick Greer, Celia Williams, and that's about it. We'll cap it there. The synopsis of this one: Lennon, a new backcountry ranger, travels alone through the dangerous wilderness, hoping to uncover the origins of a tragedy that has haunted her since she was a child. So this is the feature film debut from Teresa Sutherland. As we mentioned, I believe last week, Teresa has written several films, including The Wind, which we did on the show a couple of years back, and also was a staff writer on the TV series Midnight Mass. And this is the first film that she's directed. She also wrote it. So, and this got a pretty decent festival buzz, and it's currently on VOD. If you guys are curious, want to check it out, you can go ahead and do that. So, let's dive in with first impressions. So, I can probably give mine quick. So, for mine, first off, this film fucking looks great.
Yeah.
I really love the way the woods were shot in this.
Mm-hmm.
And it had some interesting perspectives. I especially love that one scene where the camera sort of flips upside down and then you see the trees. It looks like they're coming down towards the ground. It just was really fucking great visual. There's some great visuals in this. It's beautiful. It's hard to compare because last week we did Poor Things, so there's no comparison. But in terms of a lower budget horror film, the cinematography in this was phenomenal. So, love that. I love what this movie was trying to do. I liked a lot of what was going on. I don't know if it was all the way successful. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get deeper in. But the performance was good. I liked Georgina Campbell. I liked the way the movie looked. I liked a lot of the ideas going on in this. And I definitely got, I don't want to oversell it, but there's definitely a little bit of Twin Peaks vibe going on in some stuff. Like not, complete, I am the arm, but
right.
But
not as much the characters, but
right.
the world.
Yeah. and the forest looked fucking great. This was shot in Portugal. And it looked amazing. So that's pretty much, that's my first impression. I think it's a great feature film debut. Like, really solid, I should say. Maybe not great. It's a super solid debut. So how about MZ? Let's go to MZ and get his impression.
Well, I had to do something that I should say never do, actually. And that's...
Stop masturbating.
Stop petting his cat.
Take a look at other reviews of this film.
Wow.
Only because I felt like this is it felt very convoluted to me. Either that or this movie is meant for much higher sophisticated brains than mine. There's stuff going on here that just I could not figure out. So so I look at some of the reviews not to sway my opinion so much as to try and figure out if they saw something that I didn't, because there's a lot of stuff here that is going to make you scratch your head. But as far as the appearance of the film goes, it is shot gorgeously. But then again, you know what? You could say that just about every film that's shot in the woods. In fact,
I don't know about that.
There's this one movie that we reviewed. What was it? Maybe around 2020, I think it was. I think it was 2020 or 2021 that we reviewed late in the year. I can't remember the name of it, but it had that same shot of where it's down on the ground looking straight up at the trees, and it's a striking shot. It's beautifully done. But when I saw that shot, I'm thinking directly back to that other film that we reviewed some time ago. Georgina Campbell, I like her. I think she's a decent actress.
Was it Sador? Sador?
Sador.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. I'd actually forgotten about that, but you're right. It was evocative.
Yeah. But like I was saying, I feel like this film was meant for more intelligent brains than mine, because there's some stuff here that you gotta wonder about. But we'll get a little bit more into that as we progress. But that's my first take on it.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, I didn't know. Once again, I press play and see what happens, and I liked the immersion into the world. I thought the shots of the woods was great. I liked how it flipped mode, almost like the woods were engulfing the viewer. Like it was almost like sentient, like you're coming into this world, and I was along for the ride. And as we discuss this film, we'll see where we finally land. But I would agree that for a first time director, I got to give mad props. I mean, it was pretty dope, and it opened up strong. Like, oh shit, what's going on here? And then I was along for the ride.
All right. So, a little kind of mixed. I get what you're saying, MZ. I'm trying to think of how, I don't, obviously we're always aware of, trying not to give away too much in terms of spoilers. I think with this, it's more of a sort of a journey. You don't take everything literally, right? Like what's happening it's one of those things where, well, okay, I'm trying to think of how to say this without really giving too much away. One of the things that they say is, and this is something that is true of like when you go into the woods, sometimes you'll see it posted into national parks or whatever. It'll say, was it like take nothing, leave nothing, kill nothing,
The
or
only
something.
thing you kill is time.
Yeah,
But
I think
was it open up with a Robert Frost poem?
No, it didn't open up with Robert Frost. Robert Frost, he's the one that sort of is known for coining "Lovely, Dark, and Deep." It was let's see, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So it was Robert Frost.
Oh yeah,
but
that was again basically saying like before I die, I got shit I gotta fucking do.
Yeah. Yes, there you go. Yeah.
That's the.
So, I think they say, take nothing, leave nothing, kill nothing. That's sort of like the idea of going into these parks. You're not supposed to take anything. You're supposed to just enjoy the natural beauty. You're not supposed to leave anything like trash or whatever, and you're not supposed to kill anything like animals or whatever, And
But that was a funny thing, like, kill only time.
Yeah.
It's like, why would we have kill? Like, it's almost like, why are we gonna kill something? Like, it just seemed like that had a little bit of a sinister connotation to it.
So yeah, I think so. The thing about this is there's no definitive antagonist. You can't look at this and say there's a main villain in this. It is in essence, it is the sanctity of the woods, I guess, in a way, or like the fear of the dark in the woods and how people go missing and what happens to them, right? It's sort of explaining that.
Well, in a sense, there is an antagonist, and that would be Lennon, played by Georgina Campbell. That would be Lennon's memory.
Backstory.
And her backstory.
I disagree though, because that's trauma. Like that, she's trying to solve, like a thing that happened. So she's trying to sort of come to terms with it, and she's never gotten over that trauma. That's why it's haunting her, and that's it. It is a motivator for sure, but it's not the antagonist. It's not what's antagonizing her. The antagonist in this case is the woods. And I don't think that's spoiler to say. It's ambiguous, and you can kind of put your own thoughts into it. But the idea here is that in this, the woods are a little bit nefarious. Like they have, like if I think in this case, if someone goes into the woods, they're kind of fair game, and the woods has the ability to take something. And if you try to take something from them, that's when they have a problem, right? So, that's what the whole take nothing, leave nothing, kill nothing. So if you mind your own business, I think you're fine. But when you break those rules, that's when there is hell to pay, so to speak, or, payment due. And all those people, I'm fairly certain, would have broken the rules. I mean, we don't see all the people that go missing and what happened to them, but I think it's fair to say that they all probably break that rule at some point, whether they realize it or not.
Something we learned early on. I mean, this is essentially like people versus nature, right? Like that's the driver. And we learned that this patch of woods, we're assuming takes place in America, is kind of like the Bermuda Triangle of woods, right? Like,
sure.
If Australia, how many folks get lost in Australia, that have help? Much like the suicides in New Jersey, people have help. That's an old joke. But because they kill people, because the Italian mob. Sorry, I'm just trying to explain it.
Yeah, thanks for explaining the joke.
But this area, there's a lot of people who go missing. And why? And we see this up and coming Hungry Tiger park ranger who has baggage.
Literal and figurative.
Right. From these woods. And she gets bumped up. Like, she gets bumped up the ranks to get, like, okay, you're bumped up to this, and she's always wanted this
She's
assignment.
a ranger now, yeah.
When she comes in as this new ranger, and she comes in with a reputation, whether it's from what happened to her when she was a child, but they know who she is, and even though they know of her before knowing her, which we find out with the one ranger that kind of befriends her. Was it Jackson? Was his name?
Yeah.
Who's kind of
nice
like
shot, Jackson.
who's or Nicholas Jackson.
Nicholas Blood. Nick Blood.
Nicky Blood is Nicholas Jackson, who kind of mentors her as they're going out. She's a new ranger, but why is she there? So we know she has her own agenda aside from regular ranger shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, that was a very sudden stop.
I was.
We were like, what? You can keep going?
You thought you could jump in like I was. Want to give one of you boys a shot.
Oh, thanks for a turn, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the strength of this movie is the woods. Like, I think the woods are a character for sure. Like Gotham City is a character in Batman. Like, the woods are a character here, and they do a really good job of showing them and making them feel menacing and dark. And I really like that. Some of the shots, the drone shots, were really well done.
Yeah.
There's this one where it looks like it's almost like moving like a bird, where all of a sudden it starts slowly going sideways, and it just was so subtle. It looks so cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a shot like that. I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I don't remember seeing a shot like that. Just slowly turning, and then it's almost like upside down. It just was very, very impactful, very cool looking. So there is that. Go ahead, MZ. Go ahead.
I was just going to bring up the. No, go ahead. No, I don't want to cut you off. Go
Okay. So I think that the way the woods are shown is really powerful in this, and it does make it feel like a character, and there's this oppressive feel to it. Now, there's also some other things, like we see a doe on several occasions, and I was curious about what that meant. I think I figured it out. I'm not going to say, but I watch a lot of the movies with Tanya, and she's very smart, so I get good insight from her. But since the doe is a female deer, I feel like I'm doing the nursery rhyme.
Doe,
yeah,
a deer, female deer.
I think it represents one of the characters in the film.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
too.
She's
exactly what I was thinking.
She's searching for something.
Yes.
She has, and she kind of. It's almost like, on one hand, like, I don't know what the criteria is to get a ranger position. But
well, you can ask somebody. There,
not anymore. But like, you could, like, I don't know. It's almost like if you were a cop, if you were tied to something, you wouldn't get the case. But because she has this history in this location, it's almost like, how'd she get picked? Like, so she has her own agenda to try to, because she has a certain trauma that happened in these woods amongst other people. Good.
Well, they're not looking at it as a supernatural situation with her. I mean, she has a history where something happens to her sister in the woods that she wants to protect. Um, I don't think you can. I don't think you can list it at the same rank as a cop who wants to be on a case that's personally affecting him. I think that's a bit more severe of a situation what than what Lennon is going through.
I don't know though. I don't know. I mean, we
Yes and no.
We
I
know
mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
me or MZ.
Raven Shadow, you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because she's been waiting for this moment for all her life. You know what I mean? To get there, and we even see.
Yeah, but did she need to be a ranger in order for this to in order for her to do this? She could just be a camper and try and figure this out.
Well, I mean, you get access
She
to
doesn't
certain
need to be a
things.
ranger.
You can stay in there and overnight. Like I agree with the Raven Shadow. It's not the same. It's not like getting on a case. But
No,
it
it's
gives
not
her.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not saying it's the same.
I know you're not. I'm agreeing with you in that sense, but also agreeing with Raven Shadow in that there are similarities. She gains access that a normie wouldn't have, right? So I think in a way, yeah. I mean, you're both kind of right, but the I think that they do a really good job of playing on this fear. Like, I think everyone at one point has had a fear of being lost in the woods or getting, being in the woods past dark. Like, and we all have. We went to fucking Spider Gates, and that shit.
Right.
We might have been brave and totally fine being there, but at a certain point, you hear a fucking twig break or you hear something in the distance, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You can't see it, right? It's just gonna get your brain fucking firing,
100%. I remember even a couple years back, like going camping. I don't fucking go camping anymore. I'm too fucking goddamn old for that. But getting wild. Like, I don't want to be on the fucking news.
Not even for doing
lost.
something awesome.
No, but like, to being lost in the woods. Like, I don't fucking want to be fucking that fucking guy. It sucks. I'm like checking for fucking ticks. I was getting anxiety.
That's like this movie, instead of showing like how pretty the woods are, it could have just showed this huge fucking tick. And then
I didn't even need that. Yeah,
Raven Shadow would have been fucking horrified.
Nobody had any off.
But I do like how this film is shot, especially where the woods are involved, because for a place that's so large in acreage, it has a very claustrophobic feel.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where I haven't really felt this kind of. I don't want to say fear, because honestly, I don't find the woods to be all that scary. The only time I ever did, yeah. The only
with
time
all your fucking moth problems, caterpillar carnage.
Yeah. The only time I ever did was when I was watching Blair Witch Project. Okay, and that was good enough for me. Everything else is pretty much paled in comparison. A lot of the scenes are taken at during the daytime. A few scenes during the night, especially where Lennon is in her, I guess her cabin, I guess you could say. And also there's times where she's at her cabin, and you can see the lights illuminated in there, and I like how the suspense, which is very strong in the first half of this film, and it gets built up. Slow burn, yes, but some of the suspense really gets built up pretty nicely, particularly when she's in her cabin and she's confronted by somebody who needs help. and she needs to get her, she wants to get her shoes on, and she has to chase after this guy because he ran off. And things are getting really weird. He's mumbling shit, and then she like takes a good look at him, and his arm is like really fucked up and shit. So, and this is like pitch black at night. So the tension is really starting to ratchet up here. And because of that, the woods look like they're closing in,
Right.
because they're
Yes.
going down pathways like that and trails, I guess you could say. And the woods are closing in closer. And it's done really well. It's shot really well too. But in the first half of this film, the tension is ratcheting up. We're seeing things that may have an impact in the story and may not have an impact in the story. It keeps you, and that first half, it keeps you guessing.
Oh, for sure. And let's take it back. The reason she got a job is because there was a vacancy, and we see something that happens to a previous forest ranger, and what he does with a note that gives a very ominous kind of, it sets an ominous table of what's going on here and what could be out there. Like this is not a spoiler. This is literally in the first 15 minutes, something about need to go in, the forest needs a body, or it needs blood, or I forget what the verbiage was. But when Lennon comes on,
I owe this land a body.
Yeah, I owe this land a body. And you're like, what the fuck does that mean? So I think as the viewer, you're like, where's this fucking going? And then we have a lot of backstory with the Lennon character and her reputation. So all that. So you could have, this could be a straight up horror movie of maybe someone running amok in the woods. But you have a character coming in as the viewer, focal point. They're the viewer, and they come in with all this baggage. So I think that kind of helps, take a tried and true horror thing, but you bring in story. And I find that interesting.
Yeah. Also, before, I don't want to forget to say this. I just happened to think about it. One thing that one of you guys said kind of triggered it. But I also thought the score was really solid. And there's a couple times, especially during the credits is when I really noticed it. The way the score felt, it to me is what trees, large trees, if they're swaying in the wind, would sound like. You can look out at the trees, and even if there's a slight wind, you can see them slowly moving. And supposedly trees also give off a frequency that we can't hear. And so I almost imagined that's what it sounded like. And the score also did a really awesome job of bringing me in and allowing me to feel like I'm surrounded by the woods and embraced by them, So, yeah, I just wanted to shout that out. I thought that it was a really cool score. It wasn't in your face. It was just real sort of ambient and added a lot to this, to the film. So that was really cool. Let's see. It's difficult to talk about this one because it's one of those movies that you just have to experience and then kind of see what you think on your own. It's one of those things that we could tell you and maybe it won't make a lot of sense and maybe it won't really spoil much. But I feel like it's one of those things where if you go in on your own, you might form your own thoughts or opinions about what's happening. And if we say what we think is happening, you might go in with that in mind, and it might sort of like stunt your creativity or your imagination, I should say, a little bit. So that's why I think it's best not to say too much. But there is definitely some sort of surreality. Like there's something going on here where time, space, your place in the, in the physical world are in question, and people who go missing and are found are changed.
It's funny. It reminded me of a comic called Midnight Nation. From the early 2000s with it was Michael Straczynski and Gary Frank.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember.
Of the dude who was like off the mortal realm in an urban setting, but was kind of like in this weird ghost world. And this movie has a little bit of. I liked how Lennon listened to the podcast, that talked about, that really established the woods as this thing, as this weird Bermuda Triangle of lost people. And you kind of wonder, what's this mean? But it opens up, and even the what do you call it? The what do you call the theories? Shit. Kennedy.
Conspiracy
theories. Conspiracy theories that were going around these mountains and who's involved in things. And that from the jump, Lennon has her own agenda. And I like how there was a very diverse cast without being obvious. Like, I loved the ranger leader, the older Asian woman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a different
Zhang. Yeah,
Zhang. That was a different role, and I like that we learned about this through the podcast, through Lennon's experiences, and that was kind of a cool journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I feel it's one of those films that to really get a lot out of, you have to sort of discuss all the sort of nuts and bolts of it, like the ins and outs of what you think happened and what's going on. And I feel like it might do a disservice to do that, because I feel like it's one of those things, like if you haven't seen it, you should just go watch it, and see it. Right. I feel like us talking about it isn't really going to add a lot to the discussion if you haven't seen it. And for the people that haven't, it might sort of like stunt their imagination when they're watching it. So that's one of those things that I think would just be better off to just if you're interested, just check it out. I do want to talk a little bit about it, though. I don't want to completely brush off any discussion, but I think at a certain point, the Rangers treat Lennon differently when, they tell her to stay in the Ranger hut or whatever the fuck it's called, and
the base camp.
And don't come out. Like, don't, stay there. Let your feet heal. Don't come out. And then
that was after she chased the person to the woods.
Right.
That scene did piss me off.
Why? Because she didn't wear anything on her feet.
Well, that and like the way the huts is set up, you can kind of get illumination of outside, and there's somebody outside her hut, and let's be fair, like, I'm not sure what kind of training goes into that role, but still, any one person with somebody outside your hut, and they're knocking on your door. We know she has a gun. Like, I would say, get your shit ready before you open the door.
Yeah, I got to agree that that there is a certain amount of vulnerability involved with what her living situation is with this occupation. She's and given the current situations that have been plaguing this park lately, she is rife for an attack. So
Well, I mean, people aren't being attacked; they're going missing.
yeah, well, you don't go missing without being attacked.
Well, I mean, she was listening to the podcast and it said that most people go missing and their shoes are gone. Like it's just this weird phenomena. It's it's not intimating that somebody is doing it. It's just that it's just this weird thing. They go missing.
Yeah, but they don't automatically assume that it's something supernatural. They gotta use common sense first before they start thinking outside the box, that far outside the box.
I don't know. I mean, I never got the impression that anything was, like there was like a serial kidnapper. Like I never got that impression.
Well, neither did I. I mean, we don't know what it is. All we know is that people are missing. But I'm just saying is that regardless of whether there's anything happening or not is irrelevant. My point is that she's in this little cabin by herself, with nobody else around for a while. Yeah, she's got a radio. Yeah, she's got weapons. She can protect herself. But that doesn't mean that whoever could possibly be roaming around outside her cabin doesn't have the same thing. So, there is a certain amount of danger involved with what she does, a certain amount of unrealistic, I don't know what the word would be, a certain amount of possibility that if someone was to be outside of her cabin, there is the possibility of an attack.
Like, put your shoes on, call the radio,
Yeah.
1025, motherfucker at my door. I'm not sure what that code is.
Motherfucker at my door.
Yeah. Motherfucker at my door, and put your shoes on.
I think that's a 69 Raven Shadow.
No. Well, your method is very different than mine. But I put my shoes on when the pizza guy comes.
You're a fucking weirdo.
Well,
you think he's gonna fucking try to kidnap you?
Do anything normal?
No.
No.
Put your shoes on when the pizza guy comes. If you get a delivery, if UPS comes, you put your fucking shoes on?
Oh, I don't know. UPS don't come to my house, bro. I'll cash money. Box store, bro.
As the movie continues, we start seeing these things that are happening through the eyes of Lennon, and things start getting a little weird. And this is where things start getting a little bit unhinged.
Yep.
And where things start to take a turn where it starts to lose me. Okay. Because now it's not starting to make any sense. And like I said before, I watched a couple of review videos to try and get me on track. And I'll be honest with you, it did a little bit to help. I'm still perplexed by what I saw. There are some scenes here that are genuinely chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Not outright scary, but chilling.
Yeah.
The fact that there's this other girl that's lost in the woods, and they're out looking for her. This whole situation
Sarah,
with
the
her.
one you talking about?
Huh?
Talking about Sarah, the one who they
Sarah.
Yeah, okay.
Sarah, and they're looking for her, and then things start getting a little weird when they're trying to find this girl, and you got Lennon out there screaming for Sarah in the search party while everyone else is saying Jenny, and things are starting to get really fucked up at this point, really messed up.
Well, the way around, or Jenna.
Well, she was seeing flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because that's her trauma, was her sister was lost in those
Right.
woods. Yeah.
Her name was Jenny. You got beings climbing down trees and wrapping themselves around.
That was fucking.
tents.
That was cool. I actually really dug that. Where the guy climbed
tree.
down the tree. Yeah.
Coming down from the tree.
Yeah. That was creepy.
Yeah, I really liked how that was played out, because I mean it's set so far in the back where you notice it, but it doesn't become a central part of the scene. And the way that was directed was probably my favorite scene in the whole film.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that was directed, I just love the fact that was set way in the back, where you're supposed to notice it, but you also notice that it doesn't take central part of the scene. So you kind of forget about that, but at the same time, you can't forget about that.
Yeah.
And then after that, man, I don't know, man. Things really start to unravel. Like, I don't know if this movie was meant for me or not. I'm really doubting it. I like how it looks. I like how it sounds. It's got a fantastic premise.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this movie's for me or not.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I think that's, good of you to recognize that, you know what, like, maybe it just wasn't for me. I think it is a bit of a cerebral horror flick. It's in a sense, part of it is dealing with past trauma, right? Like there's this thing that's obviously been haunting her, and she probably hasn't been able to shake it. So maybe she realizes that the way to kind of move past it is to really meet it head on and to explore it, And in doing so, it almost consumes her, right, in a way. So yeah. I feel like that's a part of it, is that sort of confronting this trauma and tragedy is a big part of that. Is you can get consumed by it if you don't come out the other end, or if you don't look at it objectively, or sort of see it for what's actually happening. So I think that's a part of what they're saying. Is it all legit? Like, did all this stuff happen to Lennon? Was it in her head? I mean, I think that it happened. It's just the rules are different when you're taken by the woods, if you will, and that explained sort of the loss of time, the loss of space. I think it that explains a lot about what, in a sense, it explains everything without having to explain it, if that makes sense. So I think that's really, I mean, at least for me, that's how I sort of interpreted it. It wasn't all that confusing, because when you're contending with something that's, in a way, the name of the movie, Lovely, Dark, and Deep. I mean, I'm not saying like the lovely part is really, but trauma and let's see, like trauma and bad experiences and things that shape us or affect us are dark and deep, like inside of us. And a lot of times we don't want to shine a light on it. Therefore, it just stays there, and it festers, and it gets bigger and all consuming until at one point you have to deal with it. It's just there, and you just have to fucking deal with it. So, I think there's an element of that. I'm not saying that that's exactly what's happening in this. I don't know what the director, what she had thought of when she was writing it and shooting it. So it could be, could not be. I might be wrong. But I think when you're dealing with any sort of tragedy, trauma, things like that, you really have to go deep, to explore it. And I think that that's a part of it, is the woods are in a way a metaphor for having to go deep inside of yourself and reflect. And we see that in what happens to Lennon, right? Like, she kind of loses herself. She's not aware of what's going on. She's in a different place because when you confront that trauma, it's not going to feel like anything else because it's something that's been, it's almost foreign. You know, it's almost something that's been buried away and you've tried to avoid and ignore. So, you know, you can take it as something literal or not. That I think that's, for me anyways, that's how I viewed it.
All right. So like, I mean, just the title, "Lovely, Dark, and Deep." I mean, that's
a reference to the woods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with what you're saying. Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to.
It makes sense. There's a rationalization.
Yeah.
To what you're saying, you know.
Doesn't mean it has to make sense or you have to follow it. That's, I mean, and I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going on. I that's just what I, you know, what I think based on watching, you know, we watch a lot of movies and, you know, we've seen a lot that deal with trauma and how avoiding it, you can avoid it for so long, but then eventually it's just going to come find you. And in this case, I feel like she was resolved to meet that trauma head on. She wanted to come to terms with what was going on because she was also kind of came off as a bit of a weird cat, right? Like her interactions with other people were a little, you know, like weren't natural. Like I felt like she was hiding something or, you know, people had certain ways of talking about her. So her reputation precedes her. So, you know, I feel like that could be a part of it as well, is that, you know, maybe that has affected the way that she interacts with the world around her. And whether she, you know, she got this job, I think for a reason, because the what was it? The Finleys, the older couple, they mentioned how she had seemingly wanted to do this for a while, or some reference to that, right?
Right.
So I think that it's something that she's long wanted to do, not because, yes, maybe she wants to be a ranger, but there's something more to it, right? There's something she wants to explore and to find out a little bit more about.
Yeah, they treated her like a, I was just going to say, they treated her like an outsider the second she got there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can remember when she was sitting down and she was like futzing around with like whatever she was doing, and you can hear the other rangers saying like, "Oh yeah, that's that's Lennon."
Yeah,
she just came aboard and stuff like that. And as far as the old couple goes, I felt a little cheated on the old couple part. I figured there could have been something done a little bit more with that.
That's fair.
Her interaction with them. I'll tell you, and I'll even set the scene for you. The part where they're out in the woods, this old couple, and she meets up with them, and they're totally ignoring her. Okay, so obviously it's I got to thinking that maybe it's going this way because they're totally ignoring her.
Well, they're not ignoring her. She's not.
No, well, that's what I.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. And I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking to myself, you know, she's doing everything she can to get their attention. The only thing that she's not doing is the thing that I would do immediately after, you know, hey, hello. And that's, hey, push them, you know, touch them, shake them, do something, punch them, hit them, kick them.
Punch them, yeah, old people.
Kick them in the balls.
Kick them in the gooch.
But she doesn't do any of that. And I felt like that was such a cheap way out, because that is like 1950s, 1960s TV ghost interaction, you know, with a human being. And I thought, oh man, really? Did they really go through with that? Like yeah, I was really disappointed in that.
So MZ, I'm with you on that, and I made that comment when I watched with Marion last night. I'm like, well, fucking touch the motherfucker, like kick him in the balls, fucking do something, like.
Yeah, but would you do that to old people?
I know two people I want to do that to right now.
Touch their balls.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But to Marion's point, she mentioned like, well, maybe they didn't have the budget for that. Like, so what do you do? Like,
The budget
if
to
you're
hit
in
no
that
person?
realm,
Anyone could do that.
but if you're in that realm, are you even tangible? Like, how does that?
Well, at that point with the Finleys, she still didn't quite know what was going on. So I think that it makes sense. You don't want to like, if she had done what you guys are saying, like then it would have been like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on now. Like it just they could have skipped the next 20 minutes, you know.
But I think to MG's point though, it's a natural thing where you're like, look at me.
Well, even if it didn't work, just the attempt of it would have satisfied me. Because if she would have hit them and made actual contact and they moved, then the story would go one way. But if her hand went through their shoulder,
yeah, but she's not a ghost, you know.
No, but it would be part of what's going on in her mind. Because she's not actually physically there, she could just have her hand go right through their shoulder or whatever and just not touch them. Either way would have satisfied me, because at least it was the attempt.
You're a weird dude. Weird things satisfy you.
I know, thank you.
But to be fair, like you at least like fucking, you're not. What the fuck? You're not seeing me. You know, like what the.
You guys are getting hung up on a weird thing. I think it's just, you know what, like that's the scene, and if she touches them, then it gives away more than the director's ready to give away.
But like I'm also not dying on that hill. Like I get why it wasn't done, but I understand MZ's point because I felt it too. Like if you weren't seeing me, I need you to fucking see me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's reasons, cinematic reasons, budget reasons, story reasons.
I don't think there's anything budget. It's story.
But yeah,
it's just part of the story.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how they handled that part of it.
All right, that's fair.
I don't think they had a budget for intangibility.
Well, the thing is, you could do that easily. First of all, but second of all, that's not what it is. She's not a ghost. Like it. I don't think her hand. I don't know. Like I don't think her hand would have went through their bodies. You know, like it's just it's a.
But we don't know, though. We don't know.
Right,
So
and it doesn't.
I think that's
but
where
it doesn't
the
matter.
imagination of the viewer comes from.
It's all in her mind. It's all
maybe
part of.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether she touches them or her hands go through them or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like what matters is that things are fucking weird, and that's what matters. And it's really sort of bringing that was the scene to really, prove that to her. Like, yeah, things are pretty fucked up here, wherever you are. Like, you all of a sudden ended up miles further away than you thought you were in a blink of an eye. And now you're seeing this couple and they can't see you and you can't interact with them. So, it's just one of those things. I think we are just viewing it differently. To me, if you had done anything with it, it would have actually ruined the narrative. So,
how did you guys feel about the ending?
That's where I'm a little torn. So,
Me too.
Ultimately, I like where it went with the stuff with Zhang.
Yes.
I thought that was a cool resolution, but I didn't feel like it had the payoff that it could have, because the Rangers were keeping her at arm's length and not telling her anything, probably on purpose. But then when it became time to sort of like resolve that, I feel like it was a little bit like, I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't as satisfactory as it could have been. I thought it hit like a nice sort of emotional moment. Like I thought that was a nice emotional moment, but I think it could have been better. I think could have been more emotional. And we don't really, there's some we don't get a lot of resolution. You know, like there's nothing super resolved about her trauma. You know, not in a way that seemed like it was satisfactory. And
you don't think it leaves itself open for a sequel?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't think so either.
No.
This doesn't need a
but
sequel, and it shouldn't have a sequel.
No,
I think it reinforced that you don't always find what you're looking for. You know, but you get what you need. You know, like, I actually like this movie more in the last 15 minutes.
You mean the last 15 minutes of our conversation or the last 15 minutes of the movie?
Whichever comes first. I kind of liked the end more, and it changed. It may have influenced my overall thought of the picture. Not being perfect.
There was some cool stuff in the end. I liked some of the scenes in that like cabin, like where there's like ankle deep water. You know, there was some really. I thought it almost had like this dream like sort of feel to it, and I thought that actually really added a lot to it. I would have.
There was some dark moments. There was some dark gore. There was some practical effects. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I don't know.
There wasn't a lot of gore, but
that scene with the water, I don't know that. Because that was just, you know, asking more questions.
Well, it just made it dreamlike.
I'm not saying I need my hand held throughout a film. You know, some ambiguity is fine with me. I'm good with that. But sometimes it can be so ambiguous that after a while, to a point, do you even care anymore? You know, and I started feeling that a few times in this picture.
Yep. That's fair. And it's going to work for some people and it's not going to work for a lot of other people. It's one of those things that it's just going to either land, you're invested, you're engaged, or you're not. And, you know, whether the story has sort of grabbed you or not. So I could see it going either way for sure. This is definitely one of those films that it's like, I think one or the other way. I think it's a little hard to be on the fence about this of like, it was okay. You know, like I guess you can be a little on the fence, but it's one of those films like I think it's either sort of all in or all out because you're either with it or you're not. And so, yeah, I think, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where we land with the verdict, I think. So, because I'm not quite sure where you guys are headed. And I think that it could be sort of up in the air. But as for I didn't think there was much gore, really. I think I thought it was actually kind of cool where there's that one scene where someone's face was warped.
That was bizarre.
Yeah, it just came out of like nowhere. And it was like, that's interesting. Okay.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It definitely looked cool, and I never saw it coming.
Yeah.
And it catches you by surprise.
It does, yeah.
But what does it mean? You know?
Yeah. I liked, the one thing I did like, though, was when they found people who were lost, the first thing they ask is, are you real?
Right.
You know, I thought that was kind of a cool little thing.
Little tell.
Yeah.
If you're in the spirit world, asshole, they can't see us. You know, like, oh shit, so Young Guns, but different.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to say? You want to wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Not really.
All right. Let's do the verdict on this one. Let's get that sound up. All right. Here we go.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. Verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Lovely, Dark, and Deep was a trick or a treat. And any final thoughts? Let's start with Monza Zero.
This is a slow burn film, and for an 87-minute movie, you really don't have much time to work with. And also you can make it, I like slow burn films, but sometimes, you don't want to set that burn to be too slow. And the burn is very, very slow here. Ultimately, the whole movie is asking you, what does it mean? What does it all mean? I just feel like this is a film that is made for more intelligent brains than mine, because I'm an idiot. So, but I will say this: I think the director's name is damn it, director's name,
Teresa Sutherland.
Teresa Sutherland. Okay. She's got a good eye for scenery, for shots. She's got a good story here. I just don't feel like it pays off as much as I would want it to. And ambiguity is fine, but not too much ambiguity. You could, and they could leave you open to thinking about, what does this mean? What does that mean? But you don't want the whole movie to be like that. And unfortunately, that's where this movie is. But I will say this: Sutherland has got an eye. She's a talent. Make no mistake. She's gifted. She's good because she's got a good eye for the camera. She's got a good premise here. She knows her shots and she does them well. She gets what she gets out of the performers, actors and actresses. I think the girl who played Lennon, though, I think she's a bit dislikable. I really wasn't rooting for her.
You talking just the character in general, or the performance?
Her character of Lennon. I just didn't feel like I was rooting for her as much as I think I should have. But that's really not the fault on the director. It's more on the actress. Good actress too, but she does falter a bit in this film. But like I said, make no mistake, I think Sutherland is one to look out for. I think she's got the goods. Just doesn't express it all the way here, unfortunately. But she's good. I can see that she's good. So she should be very proud of that. And saying that, I just wish I'm bouncing around all over the place. I know I'm rambling right now.
Very
good. But I just don't feel that this movie is for me. It could be for other people, and that's to her benefit. And I hope, and I really look forward to seeing her next project. But for me, everything said, I'm going to say that this is barely a trick.
All right.
I'm on the fence. I'm just below the fence on this one.
Yeah. All right. Raven Shadow, what about you?
And so, Wolfie, to your point, I got to say, I am somewhere in the middle. Writer, director, first timer, mad props. Totally give respect to this. I think I may have been more interested in the backstory than the story we got. But overall, I was still along for the ride. I think it's not perfect, and I think it falters at times. I did like the denouement more, but like I said, I think I liked the ideas of the mythology more than what we saw on screen. But with that said, I thought Lennon was great. I find her remarkably attractive, but she did a great job. And end of the day, I would say it's a tepid treat. You know, and it's very hard to come off after seeing doing Poor Things last week. Like,
yeah, it's kind of unfair to any movie.
And it's not this movie's fault for that at all. But it's like, yo, Poor Things was dope. But yeah, a tepid treat. Lots of content out there, but this is a filmmaker and a creator that I am eager to see what they do next. And if you want to, and I'm sure they're going to do great things. So I think check it out if you want to see someone at the start of their game, but still a tepid treat for me.
All right. So for me, I'm sort of similar to you guys, but I think I'm a little bit further over the treat line. I think, I mean, you know, we've stated already, this film is really well shot. It's gorgeous. I really dug the score. I think for atmosphere, it fucking nails it. It nails the atmosphere that it wanted to nail in this. So for that, I think that's a huge success. And I mean, like you guys said, I'm super keen to see what Teresa Sutherland is going to do in the future, because I think this is a really solid first feature film. And, you know, clearly she's dabbled in film. She's written a few, but this is the first time she's directed. I'm actually kind of curious. I just wanted to see if she's a younger filmmaker. I mean, it's hard to tell. I just found a picture of her on doing a search, and she looks like she's fairly young. But yeah, anyways, so, you know, I feel like she's got a pretty good career ahead of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that the direction this was solid. Like, I love the idea of this film, and I love the way that a lot of it was pulled off, but I feel like the execution could have been a little bit better, especially, like I said, with the stuff with Zhang. Like, I thought that it really it had emotional impact, but I feel like it could have had more. Like, it could have felt like a gut punch when it felt like sort of a glancing blow, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like maybe the trauma and grief wasn't resolved as well as it could have been as well. So, yeah, overall, I mean, I think that for me, it's a treat. I think it's a treat because the film is a success. It accomplishes what it set out to do. And it's just really a matter of whether it worked for you or not, I think is what it comes down to. And for the most part, this did work. But there's a little bit, I mean, someone else used the word ambiguity. There's a little ambiguity in here about what's happening and what this means to Lennon. And, you know, for me, like I said, I think it was a lot of it was sort of, I don't know if allegorical is the right way to put it, but I think this stuff happened. But I think it was more like a sort of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not an analogy, but I don't know, just like it's sort of like what happens is sort of just a visualization of what it's like to go deep into your grief and into trauma. And
allegory.
Yeah, like, 'cause I mean, she went into this cabin, like she saw her childhood, and it was warped, it was twisted in different ways. And in that way, I feel like it grew from the darkness. It, you know, like this grief was in darkness for so long that it grew into something scarier than it was. you know?
Well, I think looking for answers, she found her purpose.
Well, I mean, and yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, yeah, maybe in doing so, she wanted to be a ranger so she could investigate. And then when she was doing it, she's like, actually, maybe I see an opportunity to help people. Maybe this is actually what I really want to do, even though I had other reasons. Now my reasons have changed.
But to do it the best way, right? Like if you're going to be fucking, if you want to avenge somebody, maybe you should be Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. And the other thing too about this is nature isn't good or bad. Nature is nature, right? Like,
yes,
we can't ascribe morals or values to nature. It just sort of does what it does. And I feel like that's sort of the thing here is, we can't, if nature, like in a way, like if we look at this in a different way, like if nature in this is like the Grim Reaper, like if the Grim Reaper comes for you, it's fucking coming for you. Like you can't unless you're John Constantine, Raven Shadow, you're not fucking making a deal with the devil, to get out of death,
Right.
So you just have to kind of go with the nature, literally the nature of things, the law of nature. And in this case, if someone intercedes in the law of nature, nature is out of balance and nature needs to be made up. And that's kind of what this is. It's an allegory for, for whatever was going on with her grief and everything. And, I think that having nature be the antagonist, I'm using kind of like finger quotes antagonist, I think is really just more of a way of looking at, you can't say that nature is good or bad. It's nature. That's it. And, you should give MZ shit for fucking taking his headset off and throwing it down and having it make noise.
Yeah, see, shell him. All right, like sometimes floods are shitty, or fires, nature's fires.
Yeah.
But sometimes they gotta you have to have a fire.
Right. Sometimes, and this is like the law of things is, what? Sometimes bad things can be a new beginning, right? Like, I'll get into here's a little bit of like tarot cards. The Tower card, if you pull the Tower card, it's literally a lightning bolt striking a tower, and people are fucking flinging themselves out of the tower, falling to their death. It's a morbid looking card, but what that signifies is the tower is a sudden change, and you have to adjust to it. That's not good or bad. And it could actually be good, right? It could be a good thing. It could be a blessing in disguise, so to speak. So really nature does what it does, and you have to kind of roll with the punches. And if you try to, you can't really play a trick on nature, right? Like it's just one of those things. And that's why I think that this is so interesting. The concept is so interesting. And I think that it just wasn't quite there. It wasn't quite pulled off to completion to make it really drive that point home. But I appreciate what was said and what was done. And, I think that we've had a super interesting conversation. I think that's the most important part of this is the discussion of talking about it and coming, oh, well, that's kind of a cool thing. I didn't think of that, right?
And there's some cool stuff. Like I said, the mythology, like the rangers in this world.
Yeah. They're almost like, without giving too much away, they're almost like, what's the word? Guardians, right? Like
guardians, yes. Because they
respect nature
to a point.
Yep.
But if you became entrenched in that world, they got to be hands off.
Right. You can't fuck, because if they're like, you know what? Like, we know the rules. You don't fuck with nature. So we are not going to intercede. Nature will take its course, because if we intercede, then we have to balance it out, right?
and the toll it takes on the Guardians.
Yep.
So like there's some great mythology here.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
thought
the
you were
shit
going to
that
go
you
with
don't.
a Green Lantern reference or something.
But kind of, because those
Well,
blue fucks.
they are Guardians of the Green, right?
Yeah, like. So there's some great mythology in this picture.
Yeah.
Execution, but
mostly good, but
Yeah.
could have been more better. Could have been better.
and that's not a fault to a first-time director. There could be a lot of reasons why they couldn't have
Yeah.
done what they wanted to do
And-
more. Maybe.
And maybe with an 87-minute runtime, maybe a lot of important things got left on the cutting room floor or weren't able to
Yeah.
be filmed. I'm not saying that is what happened, but maybe Teresa Sutherland is happy with the film that got made, and she should be proud of it, regardless.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just one of those things that could. You know what? One thing, like when you're doing any creative endeavor, you're never going to make it perfect. If you strive for perfection, you are just fighting a losing battle. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, at least in your eyes. Other people, if they say it is, that's their prerogative. If Raven Shadow, if you say, I don't know, what's the Power Man 5000 album that you love? The first one.
Mega Kung Fu Radio.
Okay. Like, would you say that's a perfect album?
For me, yes.
For you. But you know what? Like, if Spider-1 puts that out and he's like, that's perfect, we can't do better, why even try? So the thing is, if you make it good as you possibly can, you get it, and then whatever lessons you learn from that, or if there's things that you couldn't quite do, you didn't have the time, you didn't have the money, you take that, you file it away, and you add it to the next one early on. You make that change of and that's learning your lessons. That's like you do with anything, with a relationship. Like, we get better with relationships with age, right? Like, if
I'm trying, brother.
So it's one of those things we just have to learn and to practice and to get better at doing things. And so, while this was a good movie, I enjoyed it, and we all got something out of it. Is it perfect? For us, no. And probably not to Teresa Sutherland either. And that's really what you strive for, is to get another chance to make it what you wanted. Yeah. You're never going to get there to make it perfect. But if you can get close, that's a success. So that's kind of, I feel like this is a great effort, and it really is a really kind of astounding film at a lot of parts and a lot of points. But I think that Teresa Sutherland has a better movie in her, and I think that this experience will probably lead to a better next film. So, I mean, that's true of all artists. So,
I'm pretty sure that there are fucking guitar solos that Eddie Van Halen was like, that sucked.
Oh, he didn't want to put Eruption on the album.
Eruption. I was gonna say Eruption.
Yeah. That's like one of the greatest. Lauded as one of the greatest pieces of guitar work ever recorded, and he didn't want to put it on there. Like, he was kind of embarrassed to put it on there, but they made him do it. So there you go, right?
It's funny you say, I was thinking Eruption. Yeah.
So, all right, well, MZ's back. So that's going to do it. For me, it was a treat, MZ. Just a regular treat. Nothing beyond that. So that's going to wrap up our discussion of Lovely, Dark, and Deep. If you guys happen to check it out in the future, feel free to let us know. Shoot us a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. All right, next week. You guys don't even know what we're doing next week. We have a guest, and we have a movie. And I wanted to so MZ's not gonna like this. I'm gonna make it clear he's not gonna like this. But I couldn't let this movie pass without doing it. And also, it was the next in line from the Film Advisory Board. So going by votes, this had of the films that we haven't discussed yet, this one had the most votes. So that's what put it above the others. And so, MZ, if you have a problem with it, go talk to the Patreon supporters. But next week, we are going to be doing the Iron Claw.
Yeah, boy.
And we are going to be joined by our pal,
dude. Keep going.
Anthony Landry.
Keep going. Bro, I almost sent a message in the chat that we should get him if we do this. Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Oh, suck it, MZ.
Suck it.
Suck it.
So, if we didn't do it this week, we probably wouldn't have done it because there's a little bit of a break in the releases of films. But it is. Ketamine Giraffe said, "That son of a bitch." That's our pal.
Goddamn pal.
Oh shit. So it didn't get nominated for any Oscars, but it did get a lot of other nominations and awards from other sort of like critics associations or whatever. So but I mean, it's the story of the fucking Von Erichs.
It's a fucking horror movie.
It is a horror movie. We'll see. We'll see how they do it. But yeah, written and directed by Sean Durkin, and it stars Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Maura Tierney, Holt McElhenney. MJF is in it. Chavo Guerrero Jr. Let's see.
Darby Allin.
Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth, his brother. He plays Gino Hernandez.
Oh, it's fucking Dolph Ziggler's brother.
Yeah, Dolph's brother.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. My balls are in my esophagus.
So we're gonna do the Iron Claw next week, and Raven Shadow, brace yourself. I know you're excited, but 2 hours, 12 minutes.
You know what? I don't give a fudge. I'm excited.
Oh, you're going to give a fudge. You're going to give a fudge, all right.
Well, if it's good, maybe not.
We're doing Marion. We're doing that Sunday.
So there you go. Next week, we're doing the Iron Claw. How do you feel, MZ? You're okay with this? Since the film advice
do I have?
Well, you could not show up.
Well, I can guarantee you this won't be on my top 13 list. I can tell you that right now.
Why?
Don't say that.
Oh, because it's
not a horror film.
Yeah, but we've done so many non-horror films that have ended up on the end of the list, the end of year list.
Wrestling biography.
Do you remember The Green Knight?
Yeah.
Did you watch that with us? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Last Night in Soho. That's not really a horror movie.
Manborg?
More like asshole.
First of all, Manborg didn't make my list, and neither did Green Knight. Last Night in Soho did make it on.
It did. I know. There is some horror elements in that, I will say. So,
Yeah, we're not gonna be fucking laughing.
No, we're not gonna be laughing.
You don't know my sense of humor.
Not a lot of jokes from the Von Erichs.
Yeah, I could probably find some others, but all right, well, whatever. So we're doing the Iron Claw. Ketamine Giraffe says, when you see Fritz Von Erich, you'll see some real horror.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I can't wait to see fucking who is it? Will Ferrell in this role. My plums.
Will Ferrell is Ric Flair.
My plums.
Oh, shit. All right. We have a few voice messages we got to wrap up, though. Otherwise.
Yeah, boy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, boy. Raven Shadow fucking morphed into fucking Flavor Flav. Yeah.
Raven Shadow.
Flavor Rave. Flavor Rave. That's it. That's kind of like what was it, Reese's Pieces or
Reese's Feces.
or Gleaming the Cube? Like you have to like say it in a certain way so it makes sense. So you get Flavor Rave.
Gleaming the Kubrick.
All right, so we got some voice messages. Let's check them out. Let's see, who do we got? All right, you know what? Why don't we hear from Creepy Girl? What do you think, MZ? You want to hear from Creepy Girl?
Would love to.
All right, let's check it out. Let's see what she has to say this week.
Hey guys, Creepy Girl here, and I wanted to give my 2 cents about this film. So yeah, this movie, awesome cinematography, awesome acting. I was on the edge of my seat. I just wanted to know what was going on. I was glued. And then they don't fucking tell you shit. This kind of movie I fucking hate.
Oh my God, wow.
I hate these movies. They're stupid, dumb, and I'm tired of them. If you're going to tell me a story, tell me a complete story. It's not my story. I don't want to leave it up to my interpretation or whatever, or try to be that deep bullshit where you're supposed to, metaphorically, this means blah, 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 blah. I don't like that shit. So for me, no. And then, the big thing about leave nothing behind but footprints and, take nothing and kill nothing. But yet, then the Force is like, hey, that was ours, and now you got to kill something. I thought we weren't supposed to kill something, so they changed the rules. And so, yeah, I didn't like it.
That's what I was saying.
I liked it.
Can't reason with nature.
They didn't fucking tell me what the fuck was going on. Like, why do you do that? Why? Like, that is not good storytelling. I'm sorry, but no, I don't like it. And all you deep heads out there that, it had meaning and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. I just want a good story with a good ending. Could have been aliens, Could have been freaking aliens or something, You could have made it some cool ending. But no, just figure it out for yourself ending. I hate those. Anyway, guys, love ya. Bye.
Bringing the heat. Hey, she likes what she likes, right? Nothing wrong with that. Oh man, that was pretty funny.
I love Creepy Girl so much.
Oh man. All right. Creepy. Anything to say? You guys have anything else to add about Creepy Girl's message? I mean, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, if you're gonna tell me a story, tell me a story and let me know how it finishes. Some people don't want to do the mental labor to figure out what it means. I get that. It's a type of film that's not for everybody. But, I feel like the thing that I really like about a film like this was our discussion. When it is open for interpretation, you can talk about what you think it was or what they were attempting to do with it. Whereas if it's like, you can't do that with like Friday the 13th. I mean, it might be a fucking awesome movie, it might be great, but you can't talk about like, oh, well, the way Jason hung that fucking like body, like it was so Christ-like. It's referencing religion in America. Like you can't do that, right? So
like when he stabbed that couple in the fucking.
Right, it's a take on the class system in America and how we're like a capitalist society. You can't get ahead. So cut off all the heads. Like
yeah, trying to get a blowjob to get killed and then you can't get ahead. It's kind of like
you can't get ahead. Yeah. Oh shit. So
the sleeping bag is like society.
But yeah, it's not for everybody. I get it. I totally get it. And I'm glad Creepy Girl is knows what she likes, and she's not afraid to say so. All right, next, moving on, we are going to hear from Joshua Libre.
Yeah, boy.
Yo, what up, Trick or Treat Radio? Joshua Lieber here. Just wanted to give my random ass review of Highlander the movie.
Yeah.
The first movie from '86.
Wow.
Starring the great Christopher Mortal Kombat Lambert and Sean Connery in a very supporting role, and Clancy Brown as the bad guy.
Yeah, boy.
And yeah, I've never seen any of the Highlander movies or the TV show, but I've been aware of them, and I just decided to start with part one. And I really enjoyed it. You know, I had a lot of fun watching it. You know, as far as like the plot, story structure, lore, mythology, like I was a little confused by it. But it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the movie. You know, I didn't give a fuck about no plot or this or that, and everything making perfect sense. It's like, you know what? It's, you know, basically a bunch of cool shit set to some dope ass soundtrack, you know, to like a really pretty like, in my opinion, like iconic kind of soundtrack. um First of all, like, I'm a huge Queen fan. I love Queen. Like, Freddie Mercury is like a god to me. So like,
For sure.
I knew that Princes of the Universe was the main theme song, but I didn't know that all these other Queen songs were throughout
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole movie. So I was just like
That's awesome.
fucking enjoying the hell out of this movie, you know. You see fucking Clancy Brown crossing swords with Sean Connery, fucking lightning in the background. You got decapitations left and right. You know, you got Christopher Lambert, you know, absorbing lightning and energy. And I don't know, maybe that's why he got the role as Raiden. But yeah, I just enjoyed it. You know, it's just a great combination of some great action set pieces, to a dope ass fucking soundtrack, and I just enjoyed it. You know, and also, like, I had no idea that this movie is scored by Michael Kamen, who is one of my favorite, like, movie music scoring composers. Like, he did the music for Die Hard, and for Roadhouse, and I'm forgetting which other ones, but he's made a bunch of great movie scores. And when I saw his name in the credits, I was like, oh shit. So not only is it Queen, but now it's also Michael Kamen. So like, you know, from the opening credits, I was kind of in, you know, into this movie. And yeah, you know, the movie delivers in that respect, you know. But yeah, you know, like I said, there's a lot of questions, you know, that I had throughout the movie. And, you know, a shout out to EF Contentment, who told me, you know, there's, you know, the sequels, and, you know, they don't answer any of those questions. You know, they just kind of like probably create more, you know. But yeah, you know, overall I enjoyed it, you know. I'll probably watch part 2, see how it goes. But yeah, really enjoyed it. And you know, I wanted to ask you guys, I saw this version called the Renegade version. I don't know how different it is from the original. Have you guys seen the original when it first came out? Do you guys have any like recollection of the differences, or have you seen the different versions? I don't know. Do you guys even give a fuck about Highlander? You know, I don't know. I just I know it's kind of like you know, I guess it's a noteworthy type of a franchise, you know, but I don't know how big it is, and you know, in your guys' minds. But yeah, my question is, did you guys see the original version only, or have you also seen the Renegade version? All right. Thank you guys for the time. Have a great show, and talk to y'all later. Bye.
Such a brother? You gonna say it?
Such a brother rating out of 10. I love Joshua Libre so much.
Yeah. First of all, Joshua, thank you for the call and taking the time. When he posted that in the Discord, I was like, oh shit, first time. That's awesome. I actually haven't seen Highlander since maybe the 90s.
And that's fair. Like, actually, Mary and I watched that, I think, right around the pandemic. And I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and almost like Highlander almost fits into the Crow discussion where there's the first movie and everything else.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch the TV show. I didn't watch the cartoon. I was very excited when The Quickening came out, and I was fucking wrong about that.
Although, what
I
about the
think
one
later-
Edge was in?
He was in the third one,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a fucking masterpiece, but it's awesome because Clancy Brown is killer as the Kurgan dude.
Yeah. That's what I remember most about it was him.
And I speaking of the head and the fucking neck and him being fucking terrifying.
How about you, MZ? Have you ever seen a Highlander? I don't remember.
Oh God, a long time ago.
Okay,
I haven't
yeah.
seen it in decades.
I mean, it came
A
out in
long time.
'86. I probably saw it in the early '90s. I'm guessing maybe.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I looked up to see when I look up Renegade version, I only see Highlander 2 show up. So I don't know. I was actually looking it up, but did he say Highlander 2 Renegade or did he say the first one?
The first one, like
okay. So I'm only seeing Renegade for the second one. So I'm not sure, Joshua Lieber. I don't have the details on that. And it looks like from everything I can find, it looks like the second one is the Renegade version, or has a Renegade version, I should say. So, yeah, but that Queen fucking soundtrack is great. I'm glad Joshua Lieber was surprised by that, getting a nice little surprise hearing lots of Queen. All right, we got one more, and we're going to hear from Linus Raven Shadow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't tell me.
Here we go.
Why, hello, Trick or Treat Radio. How are you? This is Linus.
Good, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Long time no talk at. I'm currently in my kitchen cooking some pasta. I've just got back from a very nice gig I played tonight. I thought, might not be the best. It was a place I've not played before, even though it's right down the road from me. And it was great. Everyone was great. And
Nice.
people came, and it was a proper, like sports drama, the underdogs win the day sort of scenario. Anyway, yes,
Awesome.
you did Poor Things last week. I love Poor Things.
Yeah.
That only came out in this country this year, and I can't see any other film taking it away from it being my favorite film of the year. I think it was absolutely fucking wonderful. Everything was on top form. Emma Stone, incredible. Mark Ruffalo, hilarious. The direction, the score, the cinematography, everything incredible. Fucking Defoeing himself out of his Defoe-ness. Amazing. You mentioned that over here we had the one scene cut by the BBFC with the kids and the sex education. That scene is in the UK cut. I don't know what they cut out of it, but I'm not really going to look into it that hard.
Yeah.
It got the point across. It's not like like every time there's a new release of New York Ripper over here, I'm like, oh shit, am I gonna get to see Daniela Doria like properly sliced up? But like, no, that's fine, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I'm running out of time now. Also this week, I went to see Dune 2, and that's exactly as good as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of an anti-Star Wars masterpiece. And the chuds on the internet that say, anything bad about Zendaya, like don't know their fucking onions, because she kind of is the MVP of the film, and like really hammers home the fucking heartbreak in the final moments. And I'm running out of time. I'll have a good show. Bye.
Raven Shadow, brother rating.
Oh, he's a fucking mate rating at an 8, brother.
Mate 8.
Yeah, he's an 8 rated mate.
Wait, do they have different rating system in the UK?
I'm not sure what the
What's the exchange rate?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a 10
brother
over
rating
here
to a
and
mate rating.
a 10 over here? So a 10 brother rating here is an 8 mate rating?
Yeah, at least for now. I
weird.
think.
But what if it's British summertime? What happens then? Instead of
Then we all sweat.
Instead of Greenwich Mean Time.
the Mean Street Posse.
Jesus Christ.
Like Greenwich. I just love that dude so much. I love hearing his voice, and I missed him so much. And I'm just so happy that he's making pasta and had a good gig and likes Dune. And Dune isn't my gimmick, but I'm glad people enjoyed the Dune.
Have either of you seen this latest Denis Villeneuve Dune? Yeah,
I saw the first one.
You saw the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you think?
I'd have my mate Nate explain it to me.
Wait, your mate Nate 8? You give him an 8? Is he an 8 rating? Is he an 8 mate rating?
He's a Spencer 8.
But if he's your mate and you're in America, like, is it a brother rating or is it a mate rating?
Fair. He's a brother. He's a Spencer brother. And he narrated and told me why they wore the shields, and they could be bulletproof or laserproof, but blades could hurt them. And he filled me in on stuff. So I'll watch Dune 2 when Nate can tell me what I'm not understanding.
Okay. Oh shit. Ketamine Giraffe, our pal Anthony, posted a picture of Borat doing like what looks like the claw, and he said next week. So I can't wait.
I make a shit.
I make a shit.
I make a shit.
So looking forward to hanging out with our pal next week. It's gonna be awesome having him on the show.
Oh,
Rachel's gonna fucking mark out.
I'm already popping by everybody on this week's episode.
Your Mean Street posse popping.
I'm Mean Street popping.
Get a 8 mate rating.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're done. So MZ is about to fucking go ballistic if we don't end. So, all right. What do you guys say? You want to wrap it up, MZ? Go for it.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right. That is going to do it. We appreciate you guys tuning in and dooning in. Jesus Christ. Sometimes you make me feel way funnier than I am, Raven Shadow. Thank you.
I popped.
So, next week we'll be hanging out with our buddy Anthony, or a pal, I should say, and he's going to join us for the show, and he's going to join us for the discussion of the Iron Claw. Anthony may know more wrestling than any of us, probably, maybe more than all of us combined.
Oh.
But he's a great dude. I did go to an AEW show with him a few years ago, right before the pandemic. Went to Full Gear here in Baltimore. So that was a blast. And next week, the Iron Claw. So if you guys check it out, feel free to send us your thoughts. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. For those Patreon supporters, keep an eye out for the new Patreon exclusive episode dropping in the next few days. And then if you're not a Patreon supporter, consider supporting. You get access to that and 53 other fucking episodes that are only ever going to be on Patreon. All right. That is going to do it. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next week.